it's that time for that orange crush, Ganja Guru.
Delicious, motherfucker. Better than something. I still say it's good.
I love a world that just made out of fucking orange.
Speaking of which, I have a custom ashtray that is a crush soda.
Oh my, wait, did you seriously plan that shit? Like, Jesus Christ.
I'm the king of advertisement. Anthony taught me well.
Yeah, no, people, it's the midnight chat attack. I'm gonna leave that up there. You know, we never leave it on like the fucking light blue, orange thing. I'm gonna leave that up there all night tonight. Is that okay? Is that okay with you? Yeah.
I like it. It looks sexy.
Yeah, of course. What the fuck is on your shirt again? Jesus.
Joey Diaz, man.
Oh, that's an ugly looking fuck, dude. I keep forgetting that's Joey Diaz, but like the mic is in front of his nose, so it looks like he has a big ass mic nose, and then just like the, you know, the rest just head.
So his nose looks bigger than it usually does.
Yeah, pretty much. It's still a big fucking nose.
Wow.
Like John Berthal's dad and shit. Jesus Christ.
Hey, the best part is he's an admitted cocaine abuser, but with a nose like that, you can tell he put a lot away, a lot of kilos. That shit.
Oh, but Alan, how you doing, sir?
Good.
Oh man, I see that red. Doing? I see that red underneath that green. Tonight we're gonna be talking a lot about fucking movies and whatnot. Flex and Show trailer Saturday. Like,
yes, it's Saturday.
Doesn't ring as well as Tuesday. Man, Double Toasted really kind of got the upper hand in that whole Trailer Tuesday thing. I'm kind of jealous a little bit. God damn it.
Trailer Saturday?
It's not that good. It doesn't flow off the tongue.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. But anyways, yes, today, Trailer Saturday. We got a bunch of fucking trailers going on, man. I think like 5-6 trailers, Alan. Is that right?
Oh yeah, we got a lot of.
Your boy Arnold Schwarzenegger is back, Nick.
Oh yes, I'm back to DVD only.
It's not for theater release. I was hoping to see that in theaters.
Oh damn.
Yeah, no, it's not. It fucking sucks. And I know Allie, she's probably muted right now. I see a little muted thing in the bottom. But
hello.
Oh, there she is. Hello, how you doing?
Hello.
I like how you changed your avatar, man. You looking, you know.
I did change my avatar.
Yeah.
I decided I should probably change it. That last avatar was like probably 5 years old, so.
Jesus Christ.
That was like minor Allie.
Yeah.
That was back during Baby Allie.
You know what's funny though is like so many dudes have came into this call and like checked out that old picture of her. So now like you're all weird now. Like her saying that was 5 years old.
Nick, I got them on a watch list already. I wrote that shit down.
Yeah.
The Ganja Guru watch list.
We got your IP addresses, motherfuckers.
We coming for you, motherfuckers. Have a seat.
Dude, it's been a weird day today, especially because I mean, Allie changed her Facebook avatars as well.
Yes.
She took a bunch of pictures and whatnot.
Oh yes.
But that's not the only thing happening weird on Facebook because I gotta show you this, Ganja. Our girl Adrian, she finally got it, bro. She finally got it.
Is that a dick on a stick?
Yep, dick on a stick. On a stick.
Holy shit! All right, that is the most phallic object I've seen that's actually food.
I'm literally jealous. I mean, I feel like, you know,
man,
I mean? Like,
it's like God helped this photo be more dirty. Because if you go back to the photo, the light beam literally makes it look circumcised.
What the? What
it's
the?
like it's like I'm looking at a dirty Picasso painting. I'm just seeing more images in through it.
No, and Desmond Hill, he says, I see the letters BB in the back of the photo. I don't see BB, I see BBC. Look past that chair in the background. BBC, man. What the fuck?
That's BBQ, sir, but okay.
I don't give a fuck. That chair's in the way. I'm making up my own shit.
I just want to know, did she take it down in one bite?
Oh, man. Like, somebody even told her, too, like, just put it in your mouth already. Like, wait, let me go back, because I read this shit earlier. Yeah, just put it in your mouth.
I like that picture of Dexter's dad staring like, you know, you want it.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Why?
Oh, man. I thought this was a GIF. I'm clicking on this shit. I can't even do anything. God damn it. But yeah, dude, this is funny shit, man. I mean, hey, Adrian, congratulations, sweetheart. That's
ever
fucking
seen
awesome.
like a carnival or something, like a state fair, like because that's the only place you seem to get shit like that.
She's at a fucking porno convention, dude.
Come get BBC on a stick.
On a stick.
Oh boy, that's how we start the show off, folks.
Hey,
I
we
got dick on screen.
Jokes again, because we go back to that. I have some great chemo jokes.
No, but I'm looking over here in the chat though. I think she got mad at us too. She's like, wait, you wish her that cool? I'm always cool. Fuck you, goddamn it, Adrian. God.
He's cool as ice.
I'm fucking cool as
baby.
ice. Whose dick looks like that? Mine, Milo. I pulled a dick out. I don't know what the fuck. I'll say titty. My bad. I'm sorry, Milo. I love you, sir. No, but Adrian, she's gonna be having fun at her fucking restaurant. That's super cool. But someone who's not having fun on Facebook, Alan. What is going on with you and the people that you fucking meet at your job, bro? Like, here it is for context, by the way. Go and read this for me, actually, really quick, Alan.
Yeah, okay, so what happened was I'm at work and, I come in in the afternoon and I take over my dad and he goes on home. And most of my job is just, selling stuff, a cashier in my shop. And some guy comes in, he just asks for how much the price of the boots are. And I tell him what the price are and he goes, why didn't you just show me? What if I can't read? What if I don't want to read? Puts his shoes and just leaves.
Oh, man.
And leaves angry too. I'm like, I just turned to my dad. I'm like, what do you mean he can't? What if he can't read? I was genuinely confused of how is that ever a problem. Like, we should just start singing our prices now to customers to make sure
What
they
if I
understand.
can't read? Then they're an extra $20, sir. What do you want from me?
Like, what do you mean you can't read, though? Because, like, it's numeric. Like, they're numbers. Like, what the fuck?
Wait. So let me get this straight. So did you like show this customer the price or something?
What it was is he picked up the sign and I told him the price, and then he's like, why did you show me? Because I guess he's holding the sign and was angry at the sign. It's like, why did you show me? What if I can't read? And then left.
What do you mean? Why did you? You just told him, but you just told him the price, right?
Yeah. No. You're as confused as I was.
I'm so confused. Oh man, that reminds me of a story I had the other day. I was working.
Oh God.
Okay, so as you guys know, I work at a very expensive denim store. We sell like $200 jeans. We're in a very bougie part of Charlotte.
Hold on, Allie. I don't mean to interrupt. Is that where you got that whole denim outfit for the first anniversary party where I met you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ! No wonder she had denim on denim on denim on denim on denim.
Yeah, those things are expensive. You better freaking believe I'm gonna wear them.
You could have been like 6 or 7 Irishmen work pants. You from all the denim you had on your body. But continue, girl.
A lot of stuff I get free. So like, what am I supposed to do? Not wear it? Of course I'm gonna wear it.
And here she is right here. She's wearing the denim.
Okay.
Denim on denim on denim on denim.
That jacket is not from the store, by the way. Just want to let you know.
I remember this.
Why does Allie look like she's looking at Corey like, yeah, keep your hand over there?
No, it's funny because this particular video. I remember this video. This shit was hilarious because I remember Corey was talking shit about her nose, and Martin, he was trying to defend her. Like, they got into a big fight about like stop talking shit to women, and Martin is Captain Save-A-Ho and the whole fucking thing. And
meanwhile,
meanwhile,
they talk about her nose. They should see her eyebrows.
Oh, no, Josh talking shit about her eyebrows.
They did mention it. Josh was in the freaking chat posting eyebrow memes
And Angry Birds memes.
and yeah, Corey was like, well, what's wrong with her eyebrows? Like, everyone was like, what's wrong with her eyebrows? Like, they're fine. They're not penciled in or anything. And I was like, thank you.
But like, meanwhile, Alan, my bad. When I say arguing, like I think of Alan right away. No offense. But but Martin and Corey were arguing the whole time. Allie's looking at them like, what the fuck? Like the whole time she's just looking for an escape route and trying to get the fuck out of there.
Oh no, I really enjoyed myself. I just had a really bad I had a really bad habit of just like looking everywhere at once. so I'm like looking around because I'm like taking everything in. It's my first time meeting you guys, so I was just really excited.
Allie got a bad case of ADD just to start wondering.
Which way do you
I
go?
was just like, because I'm alone by myself a lot, I just look at everything all at once because like I'm a very I want to make sure I know what the heck everything is happening around me. I learned to not do that anymore because I work. And people would be like, "What's wrong with her?"
Yeah, no shit. I mean, I was thinking that sometimes too, but then again, it's like, you know what? If I was there too with all those fucking weirdos in that goddamn studio, no offense to anybody that's a Double Toasted fan, like I'd be looking around for an escape route too. Like someone might come in with a fucking machine gun.
Oh, dude, you're about to be surrounded by 300 plus toasties in New York. Get ready.
Oh, yes.
I'm not looking forward to that shit.
What about like 295 of them are gonna be drunk?
You know, I gotta say, people, I'm not gonna be very around in New York. I'm gonna be hiding somewhere. You will not be able to fucking find me.
He's gonna be like Batman. Like when I'm really intoxicated, escaping the group, I go in a corner. He's gonna appear like out of the shadows, be like, "Gosh, you fucked up right now, ain't you?"
Oh, look at Slow in the chat. God damn it.
Oh.
Yeah, eyebrows are not even intense. Like, y'all need to quit.
Y'all clearly never met Arab women. I'm just gonna point that out.
The racist Alan.
Oh man,
I'm Arab. I'm allowed to say that shit.
But Allie, I hate to interrupt your story, but you were saying about your customer that fucked up the same way as Alan.
Yes. So, okay. Anyway, so like I said, my store is in a very bougie part of Charlotte. That means we get a lot of, self-entitled customers. So.
We're being idiots, Allie. Continue.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So. Anyway. This woman walks in. She's on the phone at first, and then I notice her, and she like grabs a top. So I'm like, "Would you like me to put this in the fitting room for you?" And she's like, "Yes, I'm actually going back there now." So like, she gets off the phone, starts walking with me. You know, I'm like, "Oh, what's your name?" "Oh, your name. My name is Stacy." I don't know. And I'm like, I'm Allie. If you need anything, she's like, "Oh, hey, by the way, I had a receipt that I had store credit that I returned before or something, and I got store credit, and I lost the receipt. So I was just wondering if I could somehow like still get the store credit." And I'm like, "Okay, let me ask my manager." So I went to ask my manager, and I tell her the situation. She's like, "Yeah, no, like once you lose your receipt, that's it." And
That's pretty universal. Like,
yeah. So
Apparently not, because every customer I ever fucking had is apparently the idea of not being able to return something is fucking new to them.
yeah. Oh man, people do this all the time in my store, where it literally says 30 days return policy. You know, not worn items. People bring it back. The person freaking brings back jeans now when they bought them in like January. I'm like, really?
Okay, dude,
Really?
That literally happened to me
issue with that?
today.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like, I'm wondering, like, Ganja, like, do you ever have a situation with clothes where like you go someplace and they're like, yeah, used clothes sale, whatever the fuck. I don't want to be somewhere where someone else put their sweaty ass in. Like, why
I
do
thought
they
you
do
were
that?
gonna be like, Ganja, you ever deal with someone trying to resell shit? I was like, man,
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, man.
We never get resold back, man. Once you walk out that door, that's your shit, bro.
Yeah, man. Like
That was
seriously, people's like, because my boss was literally like, this is not the same woman, but my boss was literally like with someone else who brought back the jeans. They had washed them, they had the tags off and everything, and she asked them like, "Would you buy jeans that someone else wore, took home, wore, and then brought back?" And she's like, "No." "Then why should I accept your jeans that you're returning to me? Because I can't resell them." And
God
she's like,
damn.
"Yeah, like, yeah." She said it in a nice way, but she was like, "Would you freaking accept this?"
Oh,
And
Ali,
she said no.
I got another story. It's from my buddy. He works in the same industry. If you guys don't know, I work in the medical marijuana industry.
Yeah,
And
the
have
same
a-
industry. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same industry. So it's a strict no give back policy, no return policy. And he was at his dispensary, and some dude tried to come back with his bag of weed, and he's got it open in the middle of the lobby, talking about, "Yeah, look at it. This shit's brown. I got seeds in it. I want to resell, man. I want my $100 back." And they're like trying to be polite as 100% they can be. It's like, "No, sir, you're not allowed to have that in here. Please close the container, sir. You're breaking the law." He's like, "No, man, I want my money back. This is some brown Mexican shit." So sure enough, the police come and arrest his ass for having an open marijuana container in a weed store.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh,
so that's
wow.
the thing. Hopefully, you guys don't ever do that to the Midnight Chat Attack at all. Like, hey, man, like, I came back. I thought you guys were going to tell some funny jokes, but you motherfuckers.
no. We're keeping that Patreon money right now. I'm going to let y'all know. That's just in my bank account deep.
Oh no, man. No, I wasn't even done with my story.
Oh, shit.
So no, this woman, she was freaking crazy because she came out and my boss is like, "I'm so sorry." Well, she told her like she's asking her is like, "Hey," because apparently she like shopped with us before and you know, oh, she knows me, whatever. So she's like, "So I lost my receipt in for my return," and then you know my boss tells her, "I'm sorry, but we can't." Like once it's like cash. You can't, once you lose it, that's it. And she's like, I don't accept that. You have to find it. You have to can't you look it up in your system? And she's like, "No, once you have your, like, once you lose it, that's it." She's like, "Well, is there someone higher up that can give me back the money?" And she was like, "I'm sorry, ma'am." And she's like, "Yeah, is there someone higher up than you who can give me back my money?"
Yeah, ma'am. Hold on. Let me go get the lady that actually tailored your jeans. She might recognize the pair.
Yeah, seriously.
Man,
Seriously, man.
it's crazy.
okay.
Yeah, that's our good.
Oh no, yeah, it's just so funny. She was like making a big fuss. She was really like yelling at her, and you know, she's like, "Well, I just need you to try." She's like, "Okay, I will call someone and I will let you know. I can't do it at this moment because we had our sale going. We still have our sale going on, but it's like we were very busy at the moment." And she's like, "I can't do it right now." She's like, "I'm not asking you to do it right now. I just need to know if you can do it for me, in whatever." And then like the guy who takes the the money from our safe came in, and so she's looking at him like he can do something. It's like,
She's gonna rob him.
I cannot, yeah, she's like, no, she's not like he'll magically say, oh, ma'am, here you go. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Like she thinks that's gonna happen.
Well, he's gonna
The
pull
guy's
out money
just
out of
like,
his wallet, and be like, "Here you go, ma'am. It's for the store."
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, she's like, she just leaves. And my boss is like, what the heck was that? And the guy with the freaking bag was like, what's her freaking problem? It was like the most craziest freaking woman. It's like, once you leave your receipt, that's it. How is that so hard to understand?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, Allie, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
To do this,
fucking Gary's in the chat.
but like Barney's going with her voice. That shit was making me.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh my god, fuck you. I mean, I'm just
You are a grown man, my friend.
Yeah.
Gary,
like-
please don't do that, dude. Like, seriously, I gotta get that out of the way really quick. Gary, please. I don't want to ignore you again, man, in the Double Tulsa chat, because when you do shit like that, I'm gonna sit here laughing at the fucking thing, and I can't concentrate, man. Like, I'm so sorry, but it's just, god damn it. I think people don't like seeing Barney like talk to him and shit. I think people get literally fucking scared doing that.
It reminds me of good old days, and it makes me depressed.
Yeah. Oh, what? No.
I miss my snacks, my juice box. I miss it.
Did you hear that judging laughter from Allie right now? She's like,
Yeah.
little
The
bitch.
Lunchables, the ugly, just terrible Lunchables.
Yeah.
Allie,
Yeah,
those
those
Lunchables were delicious.
They
Those
suck.
Lunchables suck.
Oh man, but you know
Man.
what doesn't suck? You know what Lunchables don't suck? Fucking Allie. That's not your name. You're not from Last of Us, Allie. It's Allie and Ganja and Alan. You know what doesn't suck? God damn it! If I can try this out again, Ganja Guru. is
Let's
that
do it one more
YouTube
time,
channel.
Nick. Let's do it.
YouTube
so-
channel. And here's the
Woo.
thing, people. You guys go up on there. You guys go ahead and fucking check out all the stuff we're doing. I'm gonna make an MCA Plus like playlist or whatever because we did some video game stuff. Alan, I love you, buddy.
If y'all like video game playthroughs and people losing them shit in video game playthroughs, please check out the Midnight Chat Tech Plus.
Oh man, so we were playing Sonic Mania last night, which was bad. I'm not gonna recommend that to you guys. I fucking hate Sonic Mania. Unless you want to hear someone complain about this shit the entire time,
Yeah.
check it out. But afterwards, you played Rocket League, and that was probably one of the best MCA videos we have ever done. Ever. You're missing out hardcore if you didn't watch that shit. Eddie was there too. Jordan, I don't know if you're watching right now, which he's Boxman in the YouTube chat, but like you gotta join us next time. Alan, I'm so sorry. I love you, man. I mean, I don't know. And speaking of video game stuff, I actually want to bring this up really quick. I'm going to leave you on screen while I do this. I'm going to scroll up in the YouTube chat because the Mexcellence himself was actually in here. He wants to play chatbots.
Yeah, he's also in the DC chat as well.
Oh,
Viva
yeah.
la raza!
Viva la raza! I don't even know what that means. It's not Mexican, so that's not good. But Sammy actually, last night I saw his Facebook post saying, dude, I'm so fucking bored. Can anyone play Jackbox with me? And I would have replied, but I was busy doing stuff. But tonight, the after hours, if you guys feel like playing Quiplash or any kind of like Jackbox TV video game, whatever the fuck, like we are all down tonight. Bring your bitch ass in. Not calling you a bitch, though, Sammy, even though. But
Man, y'all all bitches to me when it comes to Quick Flash.
oh man, I hope.
Y'all are the only people that are actively trying to fight people in Quiplash.
Dude, no, I'm gonna piss your ass off if Alan, people vote against Alan's joke so he can get mad again because that was
Man,
the
that's the best
Like,
part
oh
when,
my God.
and he never wins it when it comes to a vote, man. No wonder you're a fascist.
You bitch! Oh, I'm gonna strangle your ass in New York.
Oh,
That's
man.
all right. You can throw my body in the Hudson. It'll disappear with like the sharks and you know,
It'll blend in with the rest.
Yeah, with Godzilla and shit.
Yeah, man, but no. So, anyways, yeah, like I said though, man, definitely tonight we'll be doing the after hours, doing the Quiplash things and things like that. But hey, here's the thing though, we got like a 2-hour show to do before we get into that shit, Ganja Guru, you fucking beautiful
That we
son of a
do,
bitch.
sir. That we do.
So, when they get in, how did they get into the call in the fucking first place? I'm not even gonna ask you. Don't you? Just shut the fuck, Alan. How do you get into this call, baby?
Oh.
Yes. So what you're gonna see, I'll be sending out PMs in a few. You'll see on the left or right side of your screen, depending on what side of the earth you're on. It'll be blinking red and yellow. You do it. We'll give you the link. You pop in,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you enjoy the show.
You pop in, and then when you pop in, you gotta follow some fucking rules. Now that's where my boy Kathy Bates comes in, and he
You
tells
damn right. If you fuck these rules up, I'll break your goddamn leg. Then make
Fuck
me right.
Go right
Folks.
ahead, man.
Speaking of rules, motherfuckers, rule number 1, newcomers, join the call first. If you're a new person who's never seen a Midnight Chat before or hang out in the Google Hangouts, hit me, Nick, Alan, or Allie Girl inside the PM box, as Alan described earlier, and we will give you a link to get on the show. Rule number 2, do not talk over each other.
I did
It's
it
just
all for
plain-
the nookie.
Fuck you and Limp Bizkit. It's just plainly rude, just like earlier, and it just ruins audio quality and later viewing for people who want to watch the shows later. Rule number 3, please no nudity. That's pretty standard when it comes to YouTube. They're not HBO. Once we get some HBO stuff, we'll have incest, just like Game of Thrones, motherfucker. Allie knows the best places.
Aw.
Rule number 4, do not give anyone else the link. We have a planned show, and that includes who comes off certain topics and certain dialogue. So if you give anyone else the link without our permission, we'll kick you and their asses out. Rule number 5, read the rules and Allie Girl screaming for me.
Don't be a dick.
God damn!
You know what?
Hold on, pull out the MCA cartridge and blow on it.
Wait, hold on.
No! It's corrupted. I have to go back to the GameStop. They sold me a bad one.
I gotta say, dude, that's one of my favorite effects in the entire XSplit fucking broadcasting. Just like if you guys do something bad and you piss me off and I gotta kick you out of the comments and be like, hey, you know what? Take him away. Oh, I love that fucking thing, man. But no, so here's the thing. We're going to be talking about trailers first off because, god damn, there's so many fucking trailers. Now, Alan, I mean, did it take you a long time to find all these trailers or it just kind of came up out of nowhere?
No, literally out of nowhere. Like, 90 is a good friend of ours. He's an enigma of a human being. Like, he just kind of showed up after 2 days of not talking to us, jumped a bunch of trailers, and just fucked off for the rest of the day. So I just went through and just watched,
Like he stole them from Hollywood and like gave us a Dropbox of like leaked footage. Like, hey man, I got these trailers from Hollywood. Don't ask questions. I'm gone, bro.
He's like, I got this shit. Come over here.
He's a joke, but he does that all the time.
No, man. But yeah, and I'm going to start off with this really quick because I know Double Toast touched on this, and I didn't watch the review or anything, so like I'm going to try to sound smart when I discuss it. But first off, I just want to say, like, man, why is Arnold doing anything right now, especially anything that's silly? This motherfucker is a joke now. Oh, yeah, well, money, of course, yeah. But, I mean, like, even so, man, like, when he's doing, like, all these prostituting of himself, like, saying all of his, like, movie lines from old movies and doing these fucking mobile video game commercials, it's like, I don't think he's making a whole lot of money. I think the motherfucker's struggling a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, he's only one step away from doing Rent-A-Center commercials. But what were you saying, though?
I just think it's a situation where he's just old and he's not going to be like he's not going to be the leading man anymore. So it's just like, I'll just take these kind of smaller roles and these kind of funny roles and just kind of be in, a lot of things. Like, he knows he's not going to be able to be in, a big serious drama anymore.
Yeah, and by the way, yeah, so obviously this is not Flex and Show. I'm sorry, y'all, for the confusion. But yeah, this is definitely fucking Midnight Chat Tech. And yes, we were, we talked about this before, actually, because remember Justin was in the call and we got into a big argument, like, who gives a fuck about Arnold anymore? But this trailer was actually somewhat trending, and Arnold was trending hardcore, like, all week. And it's just kind of weird, like, this fucking guy who's, what, I don't even know how old he is. Is he, like, 65 years old?
He's probably in his 60s or, like, really pushing to, like, early 70s at this point, I think.
Yeah, this motherfucker's crushing it. Now, you, Ganja, I mean, you're just as old as I am, to an extent. You're, like, 3 years away or whatever the fuck.
Well, we had this, like, I don't know if, I think we talked about this before, like, your dad was kind of like mine when it came to, like, all these stupid action drama movies. Like, I remember watching Steven Seagal, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis's films. Even I'm trying to remember this one movie where the dude jumps on like one of the jet fighters in Miami and he fires into the building. Like, I was into like all those crazy shit. So I really appreciate seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger come back to the big screen, especially as him not like playing like my problem with him and the Terminator is like he was trying to play like almost the same role as his youth. And this one seems to be playing like almost like a reverse Liam Neeson for Taken, where he's just doing more of a joking term. Because he knows all of us, especially like people that grew up with him in the 90s, we don't really see him too much of a serious like action person. We see him more as that comedic, like that classic 80s, action star man, almost the same way as you see Rambo.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. So like it's kind of good to see him like accepting him like growing old, being like, yeah, the only reason I'm in this movie is because I'm one of the oldest badasses, and this new guy wants to get credit for me for killing me.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, as I'm watching this, like, I mean, even if it's man, I gotta stop putting the wrong shit on here. No, but no, like, as far as this goes, dude, like, it's one of the situations where, like, okay, yeah, like that's funny, obviously, but there's like some explosions that I kind of missed out on showing you guys right now. There's like a lot of like good action shit that I'm kind of like, okay, you know what, dude, like. I mean, I want to laugh at this, yeah, but at the same time, if I see this in IMAX theater, like, I'm going to be fucking hyped. I'm going to be like, oh, shit, Arnold's back, motherfucker.
Well, I'm hoping it pulls one of them good, like, because I've seen Hot Fuzz do it, and The World's End does, like, some action sequence as well, and then Pineapple Express. I want to see if they can able to mix the comedy with the action as well as 21 Jump Street did, because it seems like this is going to be almost like a parody film of those 90s action movies, where, like, those guys that you see in the documentary crew, the new guys, assassins come up, they're probably going to be like a reference to like our action heroes, like our generation coming up, like the new type of heroes that you see. And it's probably going to be like a clash of generations. And from what I'm seeing on that, it's not played like, oh, he's just an old guy, him using old techniques or stuff like that. It's just like he's an experienced man And we have a lot of these new guys who hasn't really been out there in the assassin game that long, getting their ass kicked. And because he's an older blood, he's not killing them. He's just toying with them so they learn the game.
Yeah, and Alan, I was going to ask you, did you ever watch the movie that Arnold did with Johnny Knoxville from Jackass? It was called The Last Stand.
Yeah, I watched that.
Okay.
It was actually not a bad movie. It was okay. I don't like Johnny Knoxville at all, like as a person, so it's kind of hard just seeing his face anywhere. But yeah, this kind of reminds me a lot of it. And something Gandhi was saying, I kind of like the choreographing of the action. Some of this, it seemed like they're actually going to put some effort into making it. And something that I kind of love is the whole documentary, like what they're actually doing with this.
Yes,
It's weird. I don't really get how this is working, but they're also doing a documentary. And I kind of like that because it's like you're watching a movie, but then possibly making a movie. So it's kind of fun just kind of seeing what they're going to do with it. Like, I'm kind of curious what this movie's going to be
and
like.
I love, like, it shows the documentary crew is 100% like neutral, because there's show times where they're hanging out when Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's like, yeah, they're trying to kill me. I just reported him to the FBI. Let's see how they enjoy that.
That was great. Because it reminds me of The Office. It really reminds me of The Office, and I love that kind of show, like how they do that kind of stuff.
And he's just like fucking with to the point where the assassin, like, there's a scene in the trailer where he just looks at him and is like, I'm gonna fucking kill this guy.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
I'm
I'm
really
gonna
gonna
try.
kill him, but I really want to fucking kill this dude.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, man, I mean, I guess there's not a whole lot to say about it, but I'm just excited, dude. Like, I'm literally, like, legit smiling, just like, oh my god, this is actually happening. But
I
then,
just hope it doesn't fall for the sin of a lot of these movies. And Nick, you know, a lot of trailers are guilty of this, of like releasing 3 or 4 different versions where all the best jokes are in the trailer.
yeah, or like one trailer be the best jokes, one trailer be the best storyline parts, and then one trailer be the best action things. I'm like, yeah, you know, if I just stayed away from all this shit, you know what I mean? But like what we do on the Midnight Chat Attack, or even me doing editing for Double Toasted, I'm probably going to see all these trailers. Like, there's no way around it. I mean, maybe the casual fan can probably, you know, get away from them and whatnot, but I can't, you know, so that's the thing that's really going to kill it for me. But, I mean, hey, like, Arnold's going to be laughing on the way to the fucking bank, you know, like, just, I did it, another few $1,000,000.
Everyone forgot I fucked my maid.
Seriously, man, I can't believe he got away with that.
Well, actually, I want to ask you this, Allie, because what do you feel about Arnold even after situations like that? Like, stuff like that in his history in real life, does that kind of change your opinion on Arnold in general, or no?
Honestly, like, there have been worse things to happen to other celebrities out there. So, like, okay, yeah, he screwed up, like, his marriage. I mean, hey, it's not as bad as, like, being a pedophile or, like, you know.
So you're saying that, but, like, shit, like, the next thing I was going to bring up was Jeepers Creepers 3. So now I'm like, fuck, I might have to wait a little bit.
Pedophile.
Fucking A. You know, I mean, maybe we should just get right into that actually right away, because here's the thing, man. We were talking about how there was a cancellation going on with the whole fucking thing.
The premiere, yeah.
Yeah, the premiere, but apparently it's still happening, and I am so fucking hyped, dude. I'm so hyped. Jeepers Creepers 3 is fucking coming out, man. Dude, Ganja, hold me down. Wait, no, don't do that.
Can I whisper sweet nothings into your ears as I hold you down?
Okay, and then sniff me like the Jeepers Creepers do. Look at that shit. He's just like,
Oh, you're definitely jeeping and creeping right now, Gotcha.
oh yes. Is it time for a Gary Egan?
I want your Mexican voice so I can sound more authentic.
Yeah, he wants your Mexican voice, not your Mexican voice.
Yeah, you're Rexican. It's a T-Rexican.
Damn right. Prehistoric Mexican. Just walk right over the border. No need to hop.
I would love a Mexican T-Rex. He just gets up to the window like, hey, what's up, Holmes? And then winks and shit.
I do patios.
No, man, but Eddie's in the chat. How you doing, Eddie?
Yo, what's good?
Hey, so you see that fucking Jeepers Creepers 3 reveal trailer, whatever the fuck? Did you see that?
No, I have not.
Do you give a flying fuck at all? Because please say yes.
I give a little bit of a fuck. I mean, I like the second one back when it came out, but it's been years since I've seen it, so I just haven't really thought about Jeepers Creepers in so long.
Man, that's it. I'm coming for your ass. Look at that. I'm coming. Go over here, motherfucker.
That's the
Come
one
to my
part-
house like the creeper.
Man, no, man. Jeepers Creepers. And here's the thing, dude.
I got my dog to protect me.
Man, he would take that fucking dog and use his fucking paws for some. Okay, I got nothing there.
You play fetch with that motherfucker.
No, because here's the thing that I really like about this whole situation, Ganja, is like if you look at the trailer, and I'm sure you watched it. I mean, did you watch this beforehand or just?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. Because here's the thing, like I'm gonna try to put this fucking still up. Here you go. And I'm gonna put it in this screen so you guys can see it better. But his look right here, and I know y'all don't give a fuck, but the thing is like he's dressed up like he was in the first movie. So apparently people are saying that this is going to be the fucking like a prequel. And they already wrote the script and are already in production for the fourth movie, which is going to be something that's happening like in current day Jeepers Creepers lore or whatever the fuck.
Right.
So I'm just so hyped that this fucking thing has a universe within itself, not a universe that's connected to some other horror movie character, like how fucking the Dark Universe does with the Mummy and Frankenstein and the whole thing.
Right.
Like, this dude is building a universe for himself, and that I don't see that often. I mean, there's a fucking world in this story, and I'm so hyped about this, man, and especially because he's not been shoved down my throat. I mean, it's been, what, fucking 13, 14 years since we've seen Jeepers Creepers?
Yeah, something like that.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been
I mean,
a
it
long
helps
time.
when you get caught for fucking with children and you get in prison for a couple years. So
Yeah, slow down the.
Hey man, he was just doing research for the script.
Aw.
yeah,
No, see, and that's the thing, too, because
Oh man.
that's some
No,
research for your ass.
it's actually...
And
it's
it's
not even
about-
wrong.
Some method
it's been
acting right
14 years
there.
since the last movie came out.
Hey man, he was deep inside the research hole.
I just like how Eddie says research for your ass. Like, not my ass, but some little girl's ass, apparently. Like, oh, what?
Somebody's
What?
ass.
That's going to be edited out. No, but...
This is a live show.
Oh, yeah, fuck.
Man, we're never getting hired by HBO, CBS, none of these real networks. We're fucked.
Maybe HBO.
Yeah, maybe
Fuck
NSS is good right now, so
Maybe-
let's see.
You got a good point. Allie, do you have a cousin?
And
Oh, man, no, she gone right now. She's like, I'm not
Oh,
getting
man.
she's like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
She's rewriting her contract like Ganja can no more make such
She
jokes.
has a briefcase, man. She's just like, fuck this, I'm out of
Alan
here.
must grow 2 inches before the next meetup.
Oh, man, wait, bro.
I'll wear
inches.
platform shoes.
Don't say inches in this conversation. We're talking about a fucking John Blister movie over here. No.
You saw where I was going with that.
Uh-huh. And Rashad's in the chat. How you doing, Rashad?
Cornbread!
Do a child molester movie. Are we talking about it?
Ooh, that's another
Oh
one.
man,
You're
I'm
close.
so sick of the posters for it, man. I keep seeing them everywhere.
Dude, is
Like,
child molester
Yo,
like trending on...
float too. Sorry.
Man,
No,
quick,
actually,
5 second rant.
well, actually, did you guys know what the original saying was in that trailer? It was going to be called "You'll Grope Too." Like,
No, sir.
I'm sorry,
Oh boy.
man. I like how we're all stumbling upon like just saying a worser joke that makes us. That's worse is not a word. I just made that up. That's okay. But here's
Go
the
on,
thing, though.
baby, you try.
I'm trying my hardest. But Rashad, I want to ask you, man. Like, what do you feel about Jeepers Creepers 3? Did you watch the trailer before this at all, or no?
I watched it. I am not anticipating this at all, just
Aw.
because looking at it, it feels like watching that trailer. It kind of felt like the same attempt of what's the guy's name trying to get Spawn off the ground for like
Oh,
fucking
Tommy
years?
McFarlane?
Yeah, Tom McFarlane. It feels like I'm looking at this like, oh, this is all you had to do? Like, this is all you had to give? Like, all these years you're trying to get this movie off the ground? Like, it feels like I'm, like, The Curse of Chucky went straight to Netflix. I have the same feeling about this.
No, see, and here's the thing. I had the same feeling about this, and now I'm so glad that you did it, because now I can segue into this particular part of the discussion. Because what I'm noticing, and you were probably feeling this too, Alan, because you said you actually kind of liked this trailer, and I did too. But it is so fucking low budget. This might as well be a fucking direct-to-DVD movie, dude.
It's so low budget.
And that's what I was
But
worried about.
That's the thing, like, it's something I've always said, like, you don't really need a high budget to kind of, get horror off the ground. That's been a lot of problems with horror movies, is there being too much budget, so they focus on, like, oh, we can spend all this money to do all this stuff. Like, a low-budget movie can actually do it. Like, look at the Insidious, the first one. That wasn't an expensive movie. Look at a lot of the stuff that Blumhouse does. Those aren't expensive movies, but they can still be scary.
Yeah,
But
man.
it's like even when I think of low budget, I don't think of like, oh, like it didn't cost much to make this. Like, even if it doesn't cost much to make, I'll still enjoy it. But when I say low budget, I mean like I don't recognize anybody in this fucking movie.
I think
yeah.
that's a good
There's nothing
thing,
wrong
though.
with that.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, because sometimes when I feel like there's some kind of star power behind an actor, it becomes about the actor. It becomes a thing where it's
Yeah.
like, ooh, let's see how they're going to react to this. And it's like, dude, I know this is fake. It's a fucking creature with wings jumping around. Like, I want to see some nobodies get fucking eaten alive. No one's going to sell this to me. Tom Cruise is in this fucking thing. He's a great actor. If he's running away from the fucking creeper, I'm not going to go, oh my God, he's running so seriously. I think the creeper's real. Like,
I
no.
actually want to see who would win. I want to see who would win that the Jeeper or Tom Cruise, who would win that race.
And then the Flash just shows up going, can I join?
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys brought up his running, because I don't know if you noticed this, Nick, but when he was actually running towards, I think it was one of the teenage boy characters, of course, but as he was doing that, I noticed that it was more of like not a horror movie, but more like an action horror movie kind of setup, where I'm more watching like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or one of like a new Jason film, whereas I'm not watching Jeepers Creeper, because that was one of the things I appreciated with the Jeepers Creeper series. It was more about him toying with his victims, actually hunting them like almost kind of like a predator would, but more of a brutal form, and actually taking it's rather than like the Predator does. It's actually more useful. Like he actually needs the body parts. He's just not killing for the sake of killing. And I'm afraid from this one, it seems like it's going to be like a regular kind of horror monster slasher.
Yeah, and I'm looking in the chat right now too. Jack's Blaze saying Curse of Chucky was a great Chucky film, so hopefully Jeepers Creepers 3 can do good with the great writing. Now, I disagree with that, but I mean, people really did kind of like that movie for just its entertainment value. Now, speaking of entertainment value, like you were saying, Ganja, this does look like an action movie. Like at a certain point, people need to realize we're not scared of these fucking horror movie villains. They're basically heroes for sick fucks. Like, you know what I mean? Like Freddy Krueger, when I see Freddy, I do not want him to get like beat. And I don't think I can hear you, Alan. Say something.
Oh, my bad. I muted myself. Yeah, no, you nailed it. It's the fucking like comic. It might as well be like the comic book version of just comic book movies for horror. Like when you see Jason, like he's the hero of that.
Well,
almost.
I would say old Freddy maybe, but new reboot Freddy a couple of years ago. No, I wouldn't want to see him win at all. He was a child molester.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. That's why I didn't like.
He was
how
also
they pushed
boring.
him. He was also boring, and he was a little creepy. I will say, like, and that's the thing. Like, people get horror and entertainment mixed up, and at a certain point, these slasher movies don't count as horror anymore. I mean, when you see like the third Leatherface movie, he's over there like at a radio station dancing to the radio when the girl's like, "No, leave me alone" with her booty shorts. Like, this is supposed to be like fun. This is no longer scary. So, I don't know, man. Just fucking crazy to me. But I cannot wait for Jeepers Creepers. And here's the thing, too. We're talking about budget and everything. I just want to bring this up because some people actually care. I typically don't, but IMDb is right here saying that the budget's $10 million estimated. All that good stuff. Opening was pretty good. But this is back when horror movies were a big deal. So, I mean, what do you feel like this movie's going to be? Do you think this movie is going to have the same type of budget? Because it doesn't look like it. What do you feel?
Like less.
Me personally, from what I saw in the trailer, I honestly think the budget was cut, and which got me worried that it's going towards more of this horror action scene is that when they do that, cut the budget for those type of movies, especially when the director hasn't done one in a while, it tends to just become about the violence and like cheap gore that they can get in. So you're probably going to see like 80s level of gore in this film. Or if they do have one like good gory shot that's kind of gives a realistic tone, it's going to be either used up in the beginning half or the end half of the film. And that's where they're going to bust their load, and it's going to be I say it's probably going to be like a matinee film. Just from getting out this trailer, I could be proven wrong, and it's just the same old Jeepers Creepers that I like. Same creepy vibe. It's still probably going to be like, it's not always been known for the great story, Ryan, but it's still going to be enjoyable as a horror film itself.
Yeah, and I got Jax is in the chat, and Ruthless. So first off, Jax, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Just been busy. How y'all been doing?
Yeah, no, man. I've been looking at your YouTube chat, your YouTube channel, and yeah, you are keeping busy. What do you feel about Jeepers Creepers 3 really quick? Because I saw you talking in the chat.
Okay, well, I'm a massive fan of horror. Like, I love so many horror movies. Last year, I did a whole month of Halloween of horror monsters for my channel, so I fucking love Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. I mean, the writing thing, like, that's fucked up, so I just try to go by the work, not what the writer did. But I think Jeepers Creepers 3, like you said, it looks really low budget, but to me, I saw... I know you said you didn't care for it, but Curse of Chucky, when watching that compared to like some bullshit like Seated Chucky, I'm like, okay, this is cool because they explain, the girl's in a wheelchair. Of course she can't just fucking run away and they can't boot away. And Chucky's actually acting like an evil fucker. So I hope they do that with the Jeepers Creepers monster, like show how scary it is. But I hope it's not like a Jeepers Creeper 1.5 or something like that.
Yeah, no shit. Now, Ruthless, do you even care about horror movies? Because I never really talked to you about that before.
Yeah, actually, I like horror movies. They're not number one on my list. They're probably 3 or 4 on my list of movie genres. I like good horror movies. I don't like shitty ones, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was a little bit of a jab where he's like, yeah, I don't like that fucking Camp Crystal Lake bullshit, Nick. You fucking asshole.
Hey, Jason is a nigga, all right?
a lot of my favorite horror movies have really, really bad sequels, and so at some point I have to say, all right, I'm done. But no, this Jeepers Creepers thing is kind of weird because I don't know. I felt like they were decent enough movies, not offensive in any way. So I was never anti them, but when you learn more about the director and you get into this situation, it's like, man, I can't rock with him like I would have before. I can't rock with this new movie. Same reason.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like, there's so many like bands and fucking like people that are in any kind of entertainment industry that have done bad shit. Apparently, I like really shitty people. Like, I don't know, but it's just kind of like I can't like say, oh man, I'm not gonna watch this because of this particular thing because as far as it's bad, where like the producer, the writer, the director has done something disgusting, like molest a child, there's like 20, like 200 other people like on set who didn't molest a child, and I want to support them. So I don't know. I mean,
Well, everyone loves Freddy, and he's a child killer and child molester and things.
And we support him like President Trump.
I'm just saying, Robert Englund's Freddy Krueger, he accidentally touched a kid's butt because they were wrestling around in the sand or whatever, okay? Like, I don't think he really molested any kids, that Robert Englund version. Now, the Jack
Robert Englund's version is just, like, fucked up. Like, I mean, I was rewatching the original Nightmare on Elm Street series the other day because I'm just seeing which ones I like and which ones were bullshit for our friends thing coming up. And, it's really fucked up when you think about, okay, we all idolize this guy who freaking abducted children and slashed them up and then mutilated them and had them all in a boiler room. And it's just like, that's really fucked up when you think about it.
Defend Freddy Krueger. Like, in the first film series, I never thought I would say that in my life either, Alan. But so in the first film series, isn't it like kind of ambiguous if he killed the kids or not?
Yes.
No, he straight up murdered the children in the first film. Like he was, because in the beginning of Freddy vs. Jason, he even said like they called me this the springward slasher, and he shows him bringing a little girl into his boiler room and then slashing her and then like putting her body away, and he's like dozens of children fell to my blades. And then in the beginning of Freddy's Nightmares, the TV series for Nightmare on Elm Street, he was like going about abducting children. Like there was this one scene where he abducted a girl from a park and then just left the bodies. It's really fucked up when you think about it.
Like,
Christ, I can't believe I tried to defend this man.
No, because they actually bring him to court too. They actually bring Robert or Freddy. His name's Freddy. Like, what's no, they bring him into court, and he's just like he's standing up there like, yeah, I did it. And
wait. Sorry, you got to repeat that sentence. They brought him to court.
Yeah, no, dude. In the fucking TV series, the first episode, the pilot episode, they literally do a trial. It was like the Punisher Daredevil season 2 trial.
They brought a guy who can't be manifested can only be manifested in the dream world.
Oh no, that's before he died.
No, he was alive. He was alive at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he
I
was
was gonna
alive.
say.
It was in a judge's dream.
Like,
No, like,
okay, basically what happened was, I know because I remember this because I literally watched this like a few days ago. So basically what happened was they caught him while he was alive. Like they said he was in the middle of like trying to murder a child, but since the police didn't say like his Miranda rights and stuff like that, and they didn't like have proper evidence against him, they couldn't use it. So all the parents are pissed off. Like they just let the serial killer go who murdered their child. And he's laughing about it, and they were showing like the remains of the children like he had done stuff to, and so he like goes to like kill more, but then that's when the parents all gang up on him and burn him alive and shit. It was just like, yeah, you fucker, you deserve to die. I don't know why so many people look up to you.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, like this show, man, it was so fucking bad. It was basically like a wannabe Tales from the Crypt thing, but like they did do a couple of storyline things where I was like, you know what, y'all did a better explanation of certain serious like plot holes in this fucking angle. Well, except for that, you can pull the guitar. God damn, as I'm talking about it, he makes me look like a fucking fool.
He's about to play some talkin.
Yeah, exactly. Dream Warriors. No, man, fucking Freddy. God damn.
He's gonna form a band with Jason on mic and Chucky on drums.
Yeah, or the Fat Boys like Freddy. Oh my God, the '80s, man. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yep.
Yeah, poor Freddy. No, hopefully he'll get his due one day. Same with the Creeper, man. I hope Jeepers Creepers turns out to be a good fucking.
Hey man, he's an underdog, just like John Cena. He'll never get over.
Oh fuck you. But speaking of super fandom, since you brought up John Cena, I'm bringing up all this horror shit. I'm gonna give you and Allie a chance to flip the fuck out because, for one, are you even into Star Wars Rebels, sir?
Yes, I am like a motherfucker.
Woo!
Yeah, because season 4,
I've
the
been
official trailer. Oh, go ahead.
The first premiered, I think it was on Disney XD back then before they changed the network, right, Allie?
Is it? Did they change it?
I think
thought it
they
was still
changed the
Disney.
name.
I thought it was still Disney XD.
Yeah, it was like it premiered when it was originally XD. It was Clone Wars that was part of the transition.
Yeah, that was Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was before they Disney bought Lucasfilm. So yeah, Cartoon Network had all the Star Wars property because the Tartakovsky 2D Clone Wars was originally on there as well. But yeah, after Disney had bought Lucasfilm, then that's when Star Wars went to Disney XD, and they did the new show.
Yeah, but no, every time I see Disney XD, by the way, just the XD, I don't know what XD stands for, but it just looks like a happy face with the X'd out eyes.
Okay,
I do
throwing me
too.
off all day because Gaunt's been texting me that, and they keep thinking he's just doing a smiley emoji.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm actually surprised that like your internet, your phone, whatever, didn't like correct and put into an icon like an emoji or something like, "Ooh, Star Wars Rebels."
Smiley face, smiley face, wink.
Wink. No, man, but that's the thing, dude. So here's my situation. Like, obviously, you can't say too much because you don't want to spoil the first 3 seasons.
Right.
But the thing is, like, I really like the Clone Wars. Like me, Allie, you, I think all of us, the whole MCA crew, are watching Star Wars Clone Wars, which we had to get back to that, by the way.
Yes, we do.
And the random dice roll of episodes that we go through.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because for some reason they thought that like having the entire show out of order would be really smart.
Yeah, that was the
That's
stupidest
a
thing
great
they ever
way.
have done with it.
I didn't understand it the first time, so she's like, "Okay, we're on season 1, episode 3. This is the entire this is the first episode." I'm like, "We're 3 seasons into the show. What do you mean?"
More like season 2, episode 5.
Whatever. It wasn't as far off as it should be.
Wait, what season are you all on? Just for.
Oh God, we're all over the place.
Oh Jesus!
Like,
Oh, you're going in order?
Yeah, we're going in.
Oh God!
order. Yeah,
It's like the dice
Oh, no,
roll
you're
of
joking,
the
that
Rashad?
makes more sense though.
Allie actually looked up a very accurate list, and we have been going through that list like a
No,
checkpoint.
that list is actually on StarWars.com, like the actual official Star Wars website.
Can I just have a
All right,
question?
Star Wars, you
So
gotta know you
funny.
fucking up at that point.
It's so funny how Lucasfilm's like, "Hey guys, sorry about that." So like, here's a list of like the actual
Why did
order
that
of
happen,
everything.
though?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I actually have a question because here's the thing that I'm really confused about. What's up with Star Wars and fucking numbers? Like, I mean, I'm not trying to insult like the people who made these fucking movies that you guys love, or even insult the fan base. But it's like these motherfuckers cannot count for fucking shit. It's like you start off with this whole series, episode 4, 5, 6. Like, name that shit. Like, I don't even know. It's just like why you do prequels and then put the.
The numbers actually, Allie's gonna say it, but the numbers came out.
Because George
they
Lucas.
They came after like all the movies had been out, the numbers, when George Lucas decided he wanted to go back and create the prequels. So they just numbered it 4, 5, and 6 afterwards, so that it would technically make sense when 1, 2, and 3 came along.
So
Oh
what
yeah, because
happens
it
if
makes
they do-
total sense.
Yeah, okay, so what's gonna
Well,
happen is
in
actually
his
when Han
eye- in his
Solo.
brain.
When the Han Solo movie comes out, everything's gonna be a number higher. They're gonna re-release
No,
all
that's
of
the
it.
thing.
That's a story. That's like a one-off
Disney
story.
is,
like
is
Rogue
just
One.
totally
Kinda
giving
like
up on the
Rogue One.
numbers unless it's an actual main canon with the Luke, Han Solo, and like actual main cast from like the 70s films. So anything we see now, like Rogue One or the Han Solo movie that's coming out, those movies themselves are just gonna be like standalone stories. So they might as well be like extra comic books that get released. They're
Nick,
just
think
for
of
the
it as
fun of
Resident
the
Evil.
idea.
Think of it as the Resident Evil series. There's technically more than 7 Resident Evil games, but there's only 7 canon ones. You know what I mean?
True, yeah, but the numbers wise, like if I ever wanted to watch the movies, I can just be like, oh, let me look this up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm done.
Well, literally, all you got to do is just watch them when they're released.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, most
that's
of them
the
before we're
easiest.
born.
Yeah, well, I feel sorry for if I have a kid. Like that kid's fucked. Like, what my Star Wars? Well, here's the thing, kid. Let's print the
Here's the
Wikipedia
time.
page. But Dad,
You
I
just gotta
want to
skip
watch
the
movie.
prequels.
No, but Star Wars Rebel is much more amazing. Like, I think it's one of the best shows on Disney XD, right next to Gravity Falls and a few others that have come out there. And I think it's the most mature one, which is surprising because Disney's not really known for this. Because they actually, Ali can contest as well, they actually kill off a lot of characters and some major ones as well. And it's almost in brutal fashion, but they cut away from it just in the right amount. That you know someone got fucked up real bad. It's just implied because you can't show little kids people being dismembered or being cut in half.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can agree. I will say that I don't love it as much as Ganja does. I still really like it. I personally love Clone Wars more still. Just because the first season is a little bit rocky, but when it starts getting more deeper into the season, it starts getting darker, and and it goes into what Rebels, what Ganja's saying, some of Rebels is. Although there's a lot of filler in Rebels, and that's where I just find it sometimes it's hard to get through. I won't lie. So I will say this last season that came out, very little filler. It was man, oh crap, what's gonna happen next? I was really into it. Me and Ganja, we were always constantly talking about oh man, did you see that Rebels? Ali, did you see it? No, you didn't? Well, let's freaking watch it now. We were always just talking about it, and I would say it was really where it left off was freaking amazing. So I am so stoked for this next season. Like I don't know where they're going with it, but
well, from the trailer, it looks like either Ezra's probably going to fall to the dark side. From the way Canyon is speaking towards the later half of the trailer, talking about there's different paths, and he's talking about but the way I fight might be different than the way you guys fight. So
They've
I
been teasing
think,
him going to the dark path for a while.
oh yeah, and it's the only way they
I'm
can
waiting
honestly
for it.
keep up with the canon, because the whole story when Luke comes around is that there's not any Jedis around. So the only way that to get it is kind of to kill off canon and kind of make Ezra fall to the dark side for a little bit, or at least become their version of a great Jedi that they like to throw out there, like what Ahsoka became.
Yeah.
Now, one thing to bring up really quick is I have it on the chat right there. I scroll back up, and it's kind of funny because people are talking about Death Jar Jar is better than Han Solo. Fucking ruthless.
Yeah,
ruthless
Jar
bastard.
All right, I would prefer Death Jar Jar as a comic book series, as a cartoon, but not as a movie. I would love that shit.
But Sammy
You
in the
imagine
chat.
that, though? Imagine watching that movie like animated with some crazy, Final Fantasy Advent Children level graphics.
I'm eating mushrooms and watching that. I'm not even taking that movie seriously.
It needs to be as brutal as possible. Like Jar Jar needs to go in like all fancy into a fucking village and just pulls out a lightsaber and goes, "You all gonna die!"
Or have that fucking.
At least I could use the dark side to fuck you up.
Dude,
No, he
people
starts
who
with that
do
voice,
bootleg-
and then you have him unveiled as Dark Jar Jar, and he just talks entirely normal and proper, like a proper.
British ass
Kibito
accent.
and Naruto.
No, I want to see the people who do the Canadian fucking animation team that did Bootleg and Beast Wars. I want them to fucking do some kind of Star Wars anything. Like Rebels looks kind of like that, but I mean, aside from that, Sammy says in the chat, which is something that I was wondering, and me and Will talked about this on Toast to Toast once, but he says, "Can we?" No, not really. No, but that's fucked up. No, but Sammy, he says, "Can we discuss how much we don't need a fucking Han Solo movie?" And yeah, that's another thing. We never really talked about this on this show. Because I always said let's just skip over this shit because I don't want to discuss this fucking Star Wars crap. But since we're already talking about Star Wars, Ganja, are you for it or against it? Han Solo, the movie.
All right, I like the idea of a Han Solo movie as something as like an extra film to be added to the filmography to make Star Wars films enjoy it. But in the terms of actually need it, we don't need a Han Solo film. That's more of Disney trying to keep the viewership excited while they move on to the next phase in Star Wars films. So I think it's gonna. What is it coming right before the next one, right, Allie?
It comes next year. It was supposed to. Who knows what this.
But that's another thing. Like you could tell that they don't know. They're kind of doing what DC did with Batman vs Superman, from with all the news leaks and all the stuff that's coming out with that. But you got to take that with granted from a grain of salt, because we saw that happen with Wonder Woman as well. And a lot of those things tend to be, fell from the wayside when the movie was actually good. So still waiting to see. But from what I'm hearing, it seems like this movie is kind of just being winged. No one really knows what to do with it. They don't know what kind of tone they want to go with. Like, that's the reason they fired, I forget the original people that were at the helm of it. Allie, do you remember the names by any chance?
Lord and Miller.
Yeah, Lord and Miller.
Yeah, the guys besides that are responsible for, the Lego movie and stuff like that, 21 Jump Street. And they said that was too much like a comedy. So now they're bringing in somebody else who's going to make this more of a drama with a little bit of more comedy sense. I think they have no idea what they're going with this. So in the sense of need it, no, we don't need it. But I would like to see what they do with a Han Solo movie, because I would like a younger version of Han, because I would like to see what he was like as, training, learning. If anything, it's just a good background story. Or when you play a video game it's like maybe 4 hours, and it's just a DLC about the previous character or one of the favorite characters' past story. It's just an extra add-on.
Yeah, what do you think, Allie?
Man, I have some freaking words.
Allie's gonna shoot my ass. I'm gonna go grab my lightsaber.
No, you're okay, Gotcha. No, I have such an issue with Disney going this route of just having these movies based on characters that we already know, because I just feel like we've seen enough of them in the trilogies, in the episodes, that we really don't need to go back and see their backstory or whatever. Like, that's what the freaking comics are for. I just feel that Harrison Ford makes I would think 95% of that character so freaking likable, and having anyone else in the role, I'm sure there is someone out there, who knows, Alden Ehrenreich might be a great choice, who knows, but either way, it's just that's Harrison Ford. It's like Indiana Jones. It's the same thing. They're going to try to make a new one, but Harrison Ford is that character. He's Han Solo. He is Indiana Jones. So it's just very hard to replace someone of that freaking he is that, like I said, he is that character. But honestly, with with Star Wars right now because I hear that they're trying to make a Yoda movie. They're trying to make. They're making
Oh my
Oh
god.
god.
they're making an Obi-Wan movie. Boba Fett. I'm just like, you got like they just are heading in the wrong direction. This is exactly what I was freaking terrified that Disney would do. Is that they would go in and get the rights, and they would be so focused on the classic movies, everything with Luke and Leia, Chewbacca, C-3.
Oh, sweetheart, your shit's fucking up.
Oh no! Am I okay now?
Disney
Okay.
sabotaging our show.
I'm using my force powers to disrupt this evil bullshit.
No,
No,
Allie, I think you're good now,
it's-
Allie. Go ahead.
Okay. No, what I was saying is that they're going to rely so much on the classics that they're not even going to try to touch any of the prequels. They're not going to touch any of the expanded universe stuff. And it was going to get to a point where they just keep freaking relying on all these old characters, and they're not trying to build a new universe or a grander, a bigger universe with whole new characters. That it's just going to people are going to get tired of it too quickly, because it's like, we don't need a Han Solo movie. Like I said, we've seen enough of him. We don't need an Obi-Wan movie. We have Rebels. We saw a little bit of him in Rebels. So it's just like, they need to go and do something different. They need to create new characters. That's why I actually like Rogue One a little bit better than Force Awakens, because they actually, like the characters weren't very memorable, but at least they had brand new characters and didn't really like a lot on the Death Star and the Empire. Like, it was still there, but it was with all brand new characters except for Darth Vader and whatever. But that's where we should be going. We should be creating a whole new freaking slew of characters so that we can learn more about them than just always relying on freaking Han Solo and Luke Skywalker. I'm just fed up with it.
I'm fed up with it too. But one thing I really want to do is I want to actually see you start acting this fucking movie right here. All right? Like,
yes.
I want Darth pictures. Like,
Darth Pictures.
I fucking love that shit. Or me, man. Alan, you did a good job.
Oh shit, we got Music Mondays with Marcus on Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays on the chat room.
Oh yes, Marcus
In the chat room.
Jones, man.
Hey.
Hey, does anybody want to do
Rashida
impersonation
Falls
of Marcus?
sucks. I don't know what the fuck that means.
I can't do a Marcus impression, but I could do a Gary one if you want.
No, fuck no. I hear that enough from you on a daily.
Yeah, you know what? We'll say that for the after hours where everyone can leave.
Oh, Nick, I want to party!
Oh my goodness. I'll do Marcus. Hey, fuck you. Oh man, I'm
Anyway,
sorry.
To bring things back into what Ali was saying, I kind of get why they're doing this, because when you see Force Awakens and the next one, The Last Jedi, I feel like they're in a situation in which Star Wars movies have been so sparse and have sucked for such a long time that they kind of need to get things back up and rolling. So they have a situation like with the numbered movies, next one is 8, 9. I think that's a situation where they can start introducing new characters. They have Kylo Ren, new character. They have a bunch of stuff. So once they do the bigger movies, then they can start introducing new characters. Because right now, it's like they still have to kind of rely on the old ones just enough to get out of it's a buffer period right now.
Yeah.
Once they get out of the buffer period, then we'll start seeing different interesting stories. Like Rogue One was kind of that. It's like, sure, it was connected, but it was really different.
Now, the one thing I want to bring up is the reason why...
Right.
Oh, go ahead, Jax.
Oh no, I will. If I can say my part, then I'll say this. I feel like, okay, absence makes the heart grow fonder. So like when you go a long period without something, it's like, oh well, I kind of want that. Now with Star Wars, it's like you have a new movie every single year, probably till all of us are freaking dead. So it's just like, yeah, new Star Wars every single year until you die, or something like that. And it's just like, I mean, I don't know how to feel about that, because before, even when I can go back to when I was a little kid and I saw, back when I really liked the prequels as a little kid, I was like, okay, well, this is cool. Every 3 years I get a Star Wars movie. I've been really excited for this. And then they had a Star Wars Clone Wars on freaking Cartoon Network, which is amazing. And I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. But then I saw Force Awakens. I actually enjoyed it for seeing it. It had been so long since I've seen a Star Wars movie in cinemas. I was like, wow, I actually enjoyed that. Then I saw Rogue One. And honestly, I'm in the camp where Rogue One I'd give it a rental. I mean, I love the Darth Vader scenes in it, but it wasn't anything that made me go, oh my God, I can't wait to see more and more Star Wars movies. And then with this Han Solo film, I'm like, honestly, like what Ali said, I don't feel like we need to focus on old characters, like we get new ones and stuff like that. It's just that's my perspective. I think that they should take like at least a year or two off between Star Wars films, because to me it's just like oversaturation. It's like I love cake, but if you're getting me cake every single day for every single meal, I get fucking sick. Get that shit out of my face. What the fuck? Yeah, it's just like
but this is cherry, and then this is red velvet.
I'm allergic to cherry, so there you go. I'm allergic to that.
Out of all the cake choices I could have possibly picked.
So he never popped one.
No, actually in the chat over here, I'm looking at Dave. I just realized that.
Not just the most proud he's ever been in his whole life.
Man, I feel like Babe Ruth after he gets a home run, just like, damn right.
No, and I don't know what Dejan's actually referring to. You could be talking about what me and Josh talking about, or you could be talking about the Star Wars thing, because I do remember us having a discussion with Julian before Dejan. So you're right. Like, yeah, I mean, I feel like, yeah, he was right about saying, like, yeah, it's too much Star Wars shit happening too often, and I agree with Jackson and everybody in this call, but at the same time, Star Wars sucks anyway, so fuck y'all. No, I'm just playing. But the one thing I want to bring up, though, when Sammy actually did ask that question earlier, the thing I was thinking, like, you know, who needs a fucking Han Solo movie? Yeah, well, who needs a fucking Joker movie, or a Joker origin movie? This brings me. Yeah, and this brings me to this really quick because, for one, first off, like, I like the idea that they want Leonardo DiCaprio, but he's like in mid-Black Pride fist. Like, I don't know what the fuck he's trying to do.
This is the funniest choice I've ever seen for the Joker. If you were to ask me who should play the Joker, I would not think Leonardo DiCaprio.
I want to see that though.
There's no way.
Because it would be so weird. Like, I don't know if I could deal with that. Like, because Leo, to me, it's like, he's good as a serious kind of. He can always bring like gravitas to a role. And when it comes to the Joker, I expect the Joker to be fucking Nick Cage, but not as crazy.
Okay, well, actually, I'm going to go and start off with the opposite direction, because last talk we had about Star Wars, we didn't actually use these particular people. So, Rashad, I'm going to ask you, man, what do you feel? I'm going to get you the first word on this. What do you feel about Leonardo DiCaprio being the dream pick, apparently, for WB as Joker?
Not only just being a dream pick, but just the idea of this movie is fucking irritating. This is exactly what I was worried about with the problem. Okay, with WB, with DC, just in general, Batman he's their golden child. And I was afraid of like, okay, you're going to ignore all these characters and just let Batman's world be the takeover. They are already planning, of course, the Batman film, a Joker film, a Harley Quinn and Joker movie, a Harley Quinn movie, a Harley Quinn meets Poison Ivy movie. I don't want this shit. I want the characters that I want to see, that I had to give me Static Shock. Like, hell, give me Aquaman. Like, I don't want Batman to fucking take over. And the fact that Leonardo DiCaprio, I cannot envision this man as Joker. Like, it boggles my mind why they would even attempt to do this.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and Allie, I'm going to go to you first, actually, or second, whatever the hell. Then I'll go to Ruthless after this. But Allie, you said, and versus Rashad, what he said, you actually want to see this, and me too. But tell me why you want to see it.
Well, okay. I only want to see it because I would love to see Leonardo DiCaprio as the Joker. I think it would be a very, like, different take on the Joker. But movie-wise, this makes no freaking sense. Like, didn't they say that this is going to be outside of the DCEU?
Yeah, it's basically going to be an Elseworld, like Earth 1, Earth 2. Like, it's not even going to be connected to, like,
they're confusing so many people.
Okay, you know, here's the thing. Rashad, something happened, like, 2 days ago where I guess some executive went on there and said, no, people, that's not what we meant. This is part of it. Shut the fuck. Like,
oh, it is? Or were they talking about the Batman? Because they also said that because the director was
there was a lot of news.
Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be its own thing, and everyone was like, oh my god, it's gonna be outside of the DCU, and he's like, no, it is. It's okay, guys, it's fine.
It's gonna be standalone, so this might be the same thing with the Joker one. It'll be a standalone, but it's not gonna be a situation where he needs to connect to anything.
But is it Martin Scorsese producing?
Yes.
Well, it has to be. It's by law they have to be in the same movie every time.
And you know what? Even when Martin Scorsese attached to produce, I can tell you right now, this movie's going to be stuck in development hell for so long.
Wolf of Wall Street 2.
But okay, so like, are they replacing Jared Leto? They said it's in the same. Apparently, it's in the same universe. So, are they replacing Jared Leto?
No, he's going to be in the next, in the next like Suicide Squad 2 and Harley.
Unless they do the fan theory, which I want to do, Jared Leto, that's not actually the Joker, that's actually Jason Todd. That would be fucking badass.
But one thing I want to bring up though, because Allie, you're over here and you're huffing and puffing and oh my god. but the thing is though, this is where, and man, it's gonna get intense. And I do not mean for us to start fighting.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry, Ali. Hey, you know we're friends, right? You know, you think
Force
you're
choke his ass.
Yeah, she's getting
What are you about to
Dang it,
say? I'm scared.
this right here. Look
Oh,
how
yeah.
many fucking universes and this stupid ass
Dude.
comic book bullshit.
Dude,
Look at
dude,
that.
it's one thing to have in the comic books. Like, you can do whatever the heck you want in the comic books, even though it doesn't make any sense. But movie is for, like, the general audience, and half of its audience don't freaking know what the heck is
you
going
can't do
on
that
half
for
the
the
time.
audience.
Yeah, like, comic books is something, like, people freaking nerds are into. Like, they follow everything. They know all of the different dimensions. But, like, for the general movie-going audience, you cannot be doing stuff like this, saying, like, oh, we're going to have a Joker movie. It's not going to be in the DC movie. Oh, we're going to have, like, a completely different person play the Joker, but somehow it's connected to the other DC movies, but it just doesn't have Jared Leto and his freaking...
This is gonna
Tattoo
confuse
stuff.
every housewife that's gonna take their kids to go see this movie. Like, I thought Jared Leto was the clown. What's going on?
Jump on Ali's point, like the comic books, yeah, they kind of do that because everyone kind of does their own thing. But any sort of adaptation, like you take the Justice League television show, the sequel to that, which Unlimited, is its own kind of thing. Like it takes what it needs to and it does its own thing. Like it doesn't sit there and try to do different things. Like you're in a situation where people aren't going to know. That's why I don't think this is actually going to happen. I don't think they're going to do that because they have to know this is really stupid if they start trying to introduce alternate universes in a cinema. Like
No,
a television show you can get away with.
The one thing though to bring up is like there's certainly Batman's. Sorry, I drank water and it choked when I was muted. I'm about to die. But anyways,
The last words will be Batman.
Choke.
I know, like, and I would hate to die talking about fucking Batman. Like, can we please have the wrestling topic right
There are
now?
worse ways to die.
But no, the thing
Like
is,
wrestling?
yeah. Shut up, Rashad. God damn it.
I answered.
Didn't even hear what he said.
I said like wrestling talk.
Not during the ringside hangout.
But the thing is, though, like Batman or Gotham by Gaslight, like this is a certain Batman that I know a lot of people really liked, and some of these things can't exist without the other. That's why you need to have different cinematic universes. Like for instance, this, Gotham by Gaslight depicts a Batman who started his crime fighting in 1889. There's no way that can be connected with the Batman that we know now, and shit like that, the Gotham by Gaslight Batman, that could fit so well with Wonder Woman because she fought like so far and like decades and decades and hundreds of years in the past. That would have been a great way to have her connect with Batman, the Gotham by Gaslight Batman. So in order to do this, to do these weird little fucking things, you need to create these other universes in the cinema. So
Right.
I have to kind of agree with the comics at this point, or at least the movie directors, because they're just working with what they got. And unfortunately, what they got is a stupid ass comic book series that everyone fucking loves for some reason. I mean, it's the comic book's fault, not the movie's fault. Everyone likes to shit on Zack Snyder and all these
You know
guys.
whose fault it is? Freaking David Ayer.
Oh, I love that guy. Come on, man.
Nah, man. Suicide Squad was terrible, and how they did the Joker was just wrong.
Yeah, I'd rather go back and watch BBS and watch Suicide Squad again.
But Nick, even with what you're saying, like when you make a comic movie, as long as you stick within the bounds of the character, which is what these comics do, like they always tell different stories, and yes, they have different dimensions. But it's the core of the character. Like you in a different dimension is still you, just slightly different. But when it comes to a movie, like when you distill to the core. That's what the Christopher Nolan movies are really good because they take the essence of what make Batman Batman and tell their own story. The protecting the civilians, the iconic outfit, the not killing, like all that kind of stuff. And you can make a movie out of that. And you could do a good Batman movie, or you could do terrible Batman movies like the Joel Schumachers. I'm even taking Zack Snyder out of this because I don't think those movies are his fault per se. It's just when you do a comic book movie, you can basically take every artist and every director makes their own version of this character, and people still like that because it's like this is a new version of a character that I love.
True. And now, obviously I had to bring it all back because we were all talking about the comic books in general and DC in general. Right. But then it's like, and I'm going to bounce off what you said. I mean, let's just go back to this picture of Leonardo DiCaprio and everything. It's like, at this point, let's all just admit the fucking idea of Jared Leto is not as good as an actor as Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, of course, 100%. Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, I mean, I know we're all like, oh, fuck that, fuck that. But it's like, you guys cannot, we had to realize the fact that, yes, even
Are you on
starting off.
Is that official? Is that officially the position of the MCA?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Okay.
is it the official position of the MCA that Jared Leto's not as good of an actor as Leonardo DiCaprio?
No,
Yeah.
it's official opinion of asshole Nick, who everyone.
I'll fucking double down on that. Of course, Leo's a better actor. What kind of question is this?
Yeah, I
Because
that.
depending on the role they're in, I think one does certain things better than the other.
If
Not
we're
all
taking
the
on
time.
average and filmography and just consistency, come on, that's not a question.
Now, Jax, I want to ask you really quick, man. What do you feel about
Yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio possibly being the new Joker, and who would you choose instead of Leonardo DiCaprio? Because I mean, I might as well ask everybody that after you. But yeah, what do you think?
Okay, honestly, to me, Leo, he is such a great actor. I feel like because everyone talks shit about Heath Ledger, and he just brought a whole new Joker that is still quoted today. Like, oh my God, there's the Mark Hamill Joker, Jack Nicholson, and now Heath Ledger, and he's just like so freaking incredible at what he did. He like brought his own character. Like they all bring their unique shtick to it, and that's what I like when someone can bring their own unique shtick to like a iconic character like the Joker. So I do think he could do it. Though me personally, this whole Elseworld shit, I'm a simple man when it comes to comic book stuff. Just give me a nice Superman. Give me a Batman who's like, I'm not gonna kill like the Punisher or some shit like that. Just, I just keep it simple. Yeah. All I want to see is Justice League the animated series in live action. That's all I want to see. And then they keep doing this like other stuff and making some bullshit decisions. And I'm honestly not interested in it, but I have to see it. And it's just.
And it's also kind of strange because I can't blame WB because they're really trying to reach in and find a new franchise. Like they thought about rebooting the Matrix with Michael B. Jordan. They can't do anything else. Yes, that was true. They tried to do that.
B. Jordan?
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan is the lead, and they tried to. They stretched out The Hobbit into 3 movies, and they didn't need to do that. Like even though they needed the money. They're doing this Fantastic Beasts bullshit with the Harry Potter universe, which didn't really like the first one, so I don't really need to see the other ones. They're kind of desperate to like reach in, like, okay, what properties do we own? What can we do to stretch out this universe and make as much money and as many movies as we can off of this without trying to reboot every fucking thing we have? So I can't completely blame them, but they gotta make the right decisions with this, and they're not so far.
Yeah, and I want to ask you really quick, Ruthless, because me and you have had so many discussions on DC and whatnot. Who would you choose to be Joker instead of Leonardo DiCaprio?
Right now, if they're going to keep with this more modernized Joker, so one that looks, I'm not going to go with Jared Leto, but I mean one that looks like Heath Ledger-ish Joker, where the Joker's more crazy and not just like eccentric. I honestly would probably keep Jared Leto and just restyle him. I think if anybody saw the short for Blade Runner, he really can give like the kind of performance you would want. But if I'm gonna cast a new person, I would age up the Joker like I aged up Batman. Give me Matthew McConaughey.
See, okay, I'm actually down for that. That would make sense. Somebody
like,
I would pick
old, even though JP posted whatever the fuck on that. But
put a smile on that face.
He's too old to be Joker.
You play Idris Elba as Batman.
No, but I'm saying you've already aged up Batman and using Ben Affleck, so you might as well age up the Joker as well, and have someone because Batman and Joker have always been clearly similar in age, just not the exact same. I think that'd be an interesting move for it. And then what's the guy's name that did the Dracula Untold movie?
Oh, I don't know.
Luke Evans.
Yes.
Yeah, I was someone like him as like the Riddler in that. So you don't have just the Joker. Yeah, because I think that's one of the problems that they always make the Joker the forefront character of everything with Batman, even in origin stories. But put him around some of the other villains to see the Joker play off the other villains.
Yeah, and this is Luke Evans over here. Now, somebody that I would pick, honestly, I would definitely fucking pick Colin Farrell, like an old, seasoned, tired as fuck Joker. I think this dude would be great, especially with that fucking ridiculous hairdo. Like, yeah, that'd be awesome. Just have
that motherfucker look like he got in a bar fight and is regretting all his life.
Dude, that dude looks like he tried out gay sex for the first time. He's just like, fuck, I'm tired.
I should have put more lube and told him not to hit me.
Yeah. Someone yanked out the other side of his fucking hair. Oh, that's
damn.
Bad. Yeah, I'm sorry, people. Yeah, Joker's gay, by the way. They need to. That's another thing. They need to have a gay Joker. That dude's already walking around all flamboyant. Oh my God, Batman! Like, I need you.
He hasn't done a flamboyancy since Jack Nicholson, so.
And Jack Nicholson was just fucking like Channel 8 PBS fucking like.
Well, yeah,
comfy couch fucking. Yeah, this shit
Plus,
was silly.
Harley Quinn is around. They can't go that route.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Because Harley really fucked everything up. I gotta tell you that too. Because like for one, why the fuck?
Start out, Harley.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Allie. You're great once again. But man, like Harley, she's fine, whatever the fuck, great. I like looking at her. I like her as a character. But for the Joker, he needs to die so she can do her own shit because him doing things for her is so not his character. Why the fuck would he even give a shit about her?
He doesn't. That's the thing. Like a lot of like in the anime stuff, he just kind of has her around for having her around sake. Like he abuses her. He talks shit to her all the fucking time. Like she's just kind of around. It's not until he does like either leave or she does her own thing that's where people started liking Harley Quinn a lot more.
Yeah, and
Harley Quinn was always kind of just like, hey, she's the lead of the henchmen. We don't really care. It's like Bob in the Tim Burton Batman movie. It's like Bob didn't do shit. He was just there. Same thing with Harley. Like, Harley's not really meant to do anything with the Joker, and making the Joker, like you guys mentioned, making him seemingly secretly gay and actually having a crush on Batman would make the entire relationship between him and Harley make a little bit more sense. Like, he's around so he doesn't look like that to people because he has some personal insecurity, and part of his
that sounds like the Joker's personal insecurity. What?
Dude, have you not? The Joker constantly gets himself caught by Batman. He clearly has a need to be caught by Batman.
Yeah, because he likes to play the fucking game. That's one of the things where again to bring this back to the whole Leo thing. Leo's the worst choice because Leo.
I don't know. I guess someone says something, but like I will say, I'm looking at the YouTube chat right now too. Which, by the way, if you guys want to continue talking in the YouTube chat, I'll make sure to go back and forth. But the Greatest Savage Dank Lord, which is quite the fucking amazing name.
I approve that fucking name, sir.
Yeah, just Savage. No, the Great Savage Dank Lord. I think like next week will be Supreme Great Savage fucking super awesome Dank Lord.
I support his option to change his name to a number 4.
But he said Lego Batman Joker was a gay Joker, and just like what Ruth was saying right now too, like perfect. Yeah, this was fucking great. I think I'm telling you, Lego Batman did so many things fucking.
Well, there's also kind of a parody.
But that's the thing. It's the real storyline is so silly. It's like the parody is fucking better than the actual serious shit. Like, I don't know, man. Lego Batman's one of my favorite movies of the year. Apparently, Patrick Kurtz gave that fucking, like, I think he said it was, like, his #1 favorite movie of 2017 so far.
I still have to see that movie. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, man, we gotta watch that shit. I'll watch it.
Yeah, definitely.
But, yeah, no, but once again. Or what were you saying, Alan?
No, I was just saying, like, just to end it off. Like, someone, I think Jordan said in the chat, as much as I hate Jake Gyllenhaal, I think Jake Gyllenhaal would be perfect as a Joker. Because he's crazy enough, but he's also not the yelling, screaming crazy. He just looks like he's fucking crazy. You know? Like, and he can scream when he needs to, but he always just has that. You see him in a room, you're like, you're about to do something fucked up.
Yeah, he'll be like that slimy ass Joker from what I seen in what was that movie that we watched?
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
Oh,
I just pulling them off.
That sociopath fucking. Yeah, I really, man, Nightcrawler is one of my favorite fucking movies. We gotta watch that again one day.
That was always a movie I saw Nick actually like frequently masturbate during.
Yeah, dude, and it was like I needed 2 hands, son. Like holy shit. But no, man. But one thing I want to bring up really quick too, and this might be a little off-putting. People will be like, "What the fuck? Why are you talking about this?" But who here likes William Shatner? Anybody? Oh, I love that.
The guy on those insurance commercials?
No, Michael Myers' mask.
Cool. I only know that motherfucker for singing Rocket Man.
No, William Shatner, a.k.a. Khan, when he was doing that shit on Star Trek. This fucking dude, apparently everyone's making a big deal. He's actually trending on screen right now. I don't know fucking why. But apparently he's going to be starring in this movie, movie adaptation of the books Aliens Ate My Homework. It's the... Yeah, I know.
I think this motherfucker's broke and he owes the IRS money.
Well,
no, why is this a news story? That's the better question.
Well, no, because like here's
when was the last time he was in anything?
No, actually no, because
other than a commercial.
No, well, William Shatner, he's still around. He does a few things every now and then. Movie quotes, like I know if Justin Zarian was in here, he's like, oh my god, fucking, William Shatner, I love him. Like everyone like talks.
Don't shat on the Shatner.
Well, it's people that grew up with Star Trek, the TV series, and then eventually the movies. They love William Shatner because he was Kirk for them for like decades. But anybody else that hasn't watched Star Trek, which is 95% of the living population, don't really care or know who William Shatner is.
True. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know I don't give a shit. But the thing that I'm hyped about, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm looking over here. Apparently they're doing this thing where they're making movie adaptations from all these books from the 90s and late 80s. Like My Teacher is an Alien, fucking Aliens Ate My Homework. We just talked about that. These are all Bruce Covell books, and I used to love these fucking things. These were like the cheaper version of the Goosebumps thing. Like when Carl Stein was doing that shit, like Bruce Covell. Oh, wait, what'd you say? I don't know. Someone else said something right.
No. He was like, yeah, I agree.
Oh, okay. No, but like Jess, you remember reading these books back in the day? No, not at all.
Vaguely, just vaguely. I don't remember like. Yeah, it's not like something I go. Oh yeah, I totally used to read. I remember seeing it like at my friend's house, but I never. I don't think I. I think vaguely is one of those things. Like it's in my head, but not enough to recall any information from it.
That's exactly how I feel. Like I remember seeing these in like the libraries or in like random like literature classes or English classes. It was like right up there with the chicken soup for whatever gender kid you got right now. And I never read it, but I recognize it from a cover. So what is it exactly, Nick?
No, it's just like it's these really weird stories, and like I used to love the titles because what you read is what you got, dude. Like My Teacher is an Alien. You know what I mean? Like I love how.
Oh Jesus Christ! This was some discount Goosebumps shit.
It really was, dude. It was bad. I mean,
You're
even
obsessed with aliens.
these silly ass name titles like My Teacher Flunked the Planet.
Oh, okay. I read that as fucked an alien. Okay.
I'm a teacher fucked an alien.
That's the Mass Effect series, Alan.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing. Like I actually like
That's
the way
the porn
these...
version.
No, but it's one of those things. Like as I was like going back and looking at these Bruce Covell books, because I didn't even know the fucking dude's name. Obviously, I don't read that much. But I just like the titles. I like how. I mean, I wish movies would do that more often, or books would do that more often, where it just kind of tell you what the fuck it is. Like the description is the title of the movie, and you actually
damn,
get.
You want us to go back to like the 70s and 60s and shit, where it was like Monster in the Swamp 3D at your local drive-in.
Yeah, no, seriously.
No, we still do that to this day. A movie came out last year called Batman v Superman.
Well, no, you're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about movies doing that shit, though. I mean, dude, like there's an author actually that we all know, and he makes books like today that does this type of shit too, and it's really cool. So I'm gonna go in and kind of like plug, and Ganji, tell me if you heard of this dude. Nick Diaz's My Boss Likes to Fuck Vacuum Cleaners. That's a pretty cool. Story.
Isn't that like a biography or like based on a true story?
Oh no, it's really. Oh no, Alan, you face palming. I got another one over here, dude. My co-host is a Birdman. Like,
My co-host has a bird on his shoulder.
and then I know Allie's over there like, I'm out of this conversation, but no, sweetheart, no, you're in this too.
Here we go, Allie.
My co-host has a robotic foot.
No!
Like,
Dang it.
When did you make these?
I was really bored yesterday.
These are all like Goosebumps titles. Like it's like all like all their titles
You
are so
gotta
like,
send-
like an
gotta
alien.
No, but Allie, yeah, like I mean, hopefully we can tell people the story behind you and the
Robot foot.
like,
And of course, for kindergartners, you have Little Miss Allie, the Little Miss Allie books.
yeah.
Little Mr. Allen and Little Miss Allie. I love it.
Allie, I gotta say, dude, this picture, like I was actually like fucking around with this picture. I wanted to like press your face up against a brick wall, like I don't know why.
Oh, don't worry, she's thinking the same thing.
I'm sorry. No, I apologize.
I
But
was
yeah.
just gonna throw you from the top of the New York State building when we see
Oh
her.
yeah.
Oh man, dude, and she's gonna be fucking swatting down planes and shit on the top. And I'll be like, don't hurt her.
And Warner Brothers are gonna film it and make $1 billion.
Oh,
It was the meme that killed the beast.
God, and Jack Black's gonna add an additional hour of fucking dialogue in the beginning of that shit. It's gonna
Oh,
be great.
this is a random side
Oh.
thing, and I'm convinced this is what happened. So this is Austin. So we wake up in the morning and they're playing King Kong, like Peter Jackson's King Kong on the TV. We leave for 12 hours, come back, the movie's still going on, and I'm utterly.
Oh damn, yeah, that movie is long as shit, man. I fucking hate that movie so much.
I just skip the first hour usually.
Yeah, we still have
the
2 hours
T-Rex
of
scene
a
was cool
movie.
as shit. No, man, but no, I just wanted to fuck around. Who gives a shit about William Shatner? Ganja. But
Man, no one's giving a shit since then fucking he quit. What was it? I forget the space show all the time. Star Trek.
oh yeah, no.
Like I think the only time he had a resurgence when he was doing that Priceline bullshit before his daughter got in the game. And it was like, oh, hop
Oh,
on,
yeah.
let's sponsor instead.
But
He needs to do a new album,
wait, a new
Oh
album.
man,
Mr.
Rock
Tambourine Man.
it. Oh no, I remember Rocket Man. Rock it, man. Out here
Ooh.
blowing streams and all alone.
That
made a
motherfucker
comeback,
literally made a
Boston
music
Legal.
album.
He was funny as Denny Crane on Boston.
Oh yeah. Never
Man.
heard that double twisted episode. Where they make fun of Mr. Tambourine Man.
No, I did not remember
He
that.
just fucking screams out of nowhere.
Man!
Mr. Tambourine Man.
Like that's not a joke, Nick. At one point, this motherfucker just pauses and just yells out the name of the song. Like, just wants to rhyme the nuts.
Somebody
Yeah.
find that link, please, because that shit's
I'm working on it.
Yeah, that's a
It's
weird
the
motherfucker.
greatest
I'm
thing ever.
sorry. Like, man, William Shatner, bro. Like, I know people really like William Shatner. I just like him because he's like Michael Myers' fucking face. Like, I love how they kind of based off. It's like you're like William Shatner is such an ugly fuck that we're gonna base off a horror movie villain off his face. So great.
I heard that was actually kind of just a rumor,
Yeah, no, I don't.
so
know.
that might actually not even be true.
It might not be true, but you know what though? Until Gary fucking threatens me that he's gonna stab me because I'm wrong about horror shit.
I'm gonna fucking kill you, Nick! It was Michael Myers with Shatner, and it was Berman fucking
Okay, you know what? Never mind. My pick is Ganja for the Joker. Fuck it.
Yeah, no shit.
Damn.
But you know what though? I gotta calm Ganja down. You know I'm gonna calm him down? Flex and chill, yes!
Oh snap!
Oh my
Shit.
goodness gracious! But no,
I just made everybody with headphones go deaf, and I'm apologize.
it's fucking scary, dude. Yeah, people, when we get to like the hour and a half part, take your fucking headphones off, because this motherfucker.
Oh, we're
is
just gonna start
insane.
screaming because we gotta wake ourselves up. Like, ah!
Oh man, dude, and now my shit's fucking up. You done fucked up my video, Ganja, you son of a bitch.
Man, I can't handle my rock voice, man. I was blessed by Thor himself.
Oh, and look at this, man. Look at the red is out. The red is out. Now, I'm gonna save you for last, Alan. We're gonna talk about a few things.
Don't wear that in New York, Alan. You're gonna get shot.
Oh. Ganja, can you just shut the fuck up sometimes?
I'll try. I'm
I
just
love
being
you,
there.
man.
I think I'm ripping a hood by wearing a red shirt, dude.
No, but Jax hasn't been here in a long time, and maybe you don't have anything. Maybe we can come back to you if you don't have anything. But have you been watching some stuff like on live streaming and whatnot, Jax?
Yeah. I watched Defenders. I watched Voltron season 3. I watched
Damn, it's out.
I watched that new Death Note movie. I watched the
I'm gonna ask you this really quick though. I mean, and you don't have to do a whole long review or anything. I'm just kind of curious of what you think about. But Voltron season 3, like this kind of like fell beyond the gaps of me knowing what the fuck's going on. I didn't know this was out. So what do you think about this, man? Is it worth anybody's time?
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth the people's time. I'm on episode 4 right now, and I think they're doing. I'm not going to spoil or anything like that, but I think they're doing pretty good. So if you've been following along the first 2 seasons, it was way shorter than the other 2 seasons because I guess it's sort of a fusion thing. They're doing a Game of Thrones-esque like, oh, we're gonna break season 3 into like 2 halves. So like it's going to be called season 4 later on, like October, but they got a second part of that season coming out because there's only 7 episodes when it's usually like 13. So that was weird, but it was really good to me. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, man, and like, man, the animation in this fucking thing is so badass. Like, God, dude, I love this shit. Like,
More style stuff.
yeah, and I'm not a Voltron fan at all. I'm not into like a lot of the 80 base kind of stuff. Like, this is originally wasn't in the 80s, right? Like the old Voltron shit.
Yeah, it was like originally an 80s anime show that they brought over, and it became a big thing, like Transformers as well. It was like one of those type of shows.
And then I remember it had a bunch of spin-offs because I remember I was a fan of one of them. It was it came on in the early morning. I think you remember it, Jax. It was one with animals instead, and it was they fought in the desert and shit. It was right when CGI cartoons really became big. Zoids,
Oh my God.
Zords,
Yeah,
or some shit.
Zords.
Yeah,
I remember
oh my
that
God.
shit.
I remember that like vaguely, but I know what you're talking about, dude. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wait, what was
That's
it
why I'm
called
getting flashbacks looking at this new Voltron. Like, it looks like a better version of that with more focus on story and with a little bit of more adult attitude towards
But
it.
the show you're talking about, Ganja, what was that called again?
It was either Zords or I honestly don't know. Like, it was one of those
I'm
shows.
pretty
you
sure it
watch-
was Zords.
So check Zords if that's not it. Anybody in the chat room or in the YouTube chat, if you guys can find out, I appreciate it because that's something I
I
would
didn't know
really
there
like
was
to
a
go back and
Voltron
watch.
thing.
It was
Yeah.
like a Voltron thing, and I think towards the end feature series, like they could actually combine and form another animal or like an ultimate machine and like take down a bad guy. Like it was very Voltron-esque, kind of like how Gundam is to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm gonna look this
There's
up right now
something
too. But
Where Gundam's like Voltron. What?
To a certain extent.
No, man, but no, it's just like I said, man. The Voltron thing, it looks pretty fucking badass, and I mean, just like I said, the animation and everything. Well, wrong fucking thing, Nick. Come on, buddy. No,
Yeah, because I've caught up on the season 2, and it's a pretty decent show.
yeah, dude. Like this shit looks like a fucking like show version of Einhander, that fucking video game I like. Like this
Yeah,
fucking thing's
yeah.
insane. But yeah, man. Anything else though, Jax?
Let's see. No, not really. I just been watching a bunch of classic stuff. Like I've been watching some. They had the Little Witch Academia dub, which was actually really funny. My friend got me into that, and I thought it was going to be some like garbage, like trash show. I was like, this is actually really well done. Like it's actually really funny and stuff like that. So I was, I've been watching that. I'm like on season 2 right now. So that's
What is the series about, Jax?
It's about so this girl, it's basically like the witch version of My Hero Academia, basically, that superhero show. This girl saw this witch perform when she was a young girl. She was like, oh, I want to do that when I grow up. So she decides to go to this like Harry Potter-esque school of witchcraft and wizardry and stuff like that. And there's all these like special creatures there, like trolls, dragons, and stuff like that. And then she's just trying to learn, but she doesn't have innate talent like everyone else. So she's sort of like Harry Potter, where all these other witches grew up with like people with these powers in the house, but she never grew up with that. Her parents are like basically Harry Potter term Muggle-esque. So she goes there and she's trying. Hermione. Yeah, basically Hermione, but she has no talent. She's trying her best. Exactly. She's trying her best to like become this great witch because she's a big fan of this witch called Shiny Chariot, who was like this great phenomenal witch back in the day who did all these things, but everyone thinks she's a fake, she's a phony. What she showed was fake magic, whatever. You should be trying to learn the real stuff. And so she's going to school trying to master that. And then the second season it's weird, they get all mecha in a witch anime, and I was like, what the hell, this is kind of dope. I didn't expect that. Like they had like a whole Gurren Lagann type episode where I was like, isn't this supposed to be about witches? Why is there a mecha fight going on? But it's a really well done show. I really like it.
No, and I love when they bring like the mech things like into fucking anime. Like Cassette Girl is that thing that we watched at the beginning of the anime night that one time, and I still talk about that. I think I bring it up like once every 2 weeks.
You were conflicted. I like for the first half, Nick's like, this is fucking amazing. Then the titties came out and underage women. Yeah. He's like, what the fuck are we watching?
Walking around like a 9-year-old, dude. She was like, I swear to God, she was not past 10 years old, and that girl got bigger titties.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you guys so much.
That's Zoids, not Zords.
Zoids.
I put an R when I have to put an R.
Yeah, and man, Zoids. I'm gonna go in and look this up too, or like just like some stuff.
That's a classic. Zoids is classic. Oh god.
Yeah, Ganja, is this it right here?
Yes, it is, sir. And the best part about
that looks badass.
Great on this because we kind of already went past this, but I just want to say this real quick. I just noticed that a lot of times with the different robots with their animal design actually meant something. So kind of like when Transformers went with their primal one, this is kind of like almost the 3D version of that, where the actual animals make sense and they fight like the animals. That's why you see the snake guys jumping between the sand dune. So I appreciate that as a kid.
Yeah, dude. No, I'm definitely gonna check that out. And I'm also gonna have to check out Little Witch Academia too, because because someone brought this up 2 weeks ago when we did a Flex and Chill, and when he brought this up, I was like, okay, you know what, dude? Like, I don't give a fuck about anime, but I've been trying to get into certain things. Like Ganja on the midweek when we did the anime night, we watched Death Parade. And Death Parade, that shit was not too bad at all. The only problem is it got me fucking depressed as fuck.
Yeah, it was weird. Like Death Parade has this weird happy-go-lucky intro to where it feels like you're about to watch a party, but then you're just watching people die and accept their fate, and that's all you see through the rest of the anime. Like that's how that motherfucker ends. So we've only gone through like I think 3 or 4 episodes. So I think we're probably watching again on anime night after we go over the topic. But I really enjoy it. Like it was a very good mind game. Like I think from what I'm seeing so far, they show you the topic of the characters dying and how the characters deal with it, and then they show you how the angels deal with it from a different perspective, like having to be that judgmental type. And it shows that they actually somewhat care. It's really deep thinking. It's one of those few animes that they have the cutesy stuff there, but it's mostly just to get those weeaboo motherfuckers into a serious topic and enjoy it.
No shit. It really just gave people like, oh, okay, here we go, some nerdy shit. Oh, fuck, it's real. Like, I mean, it's fucking awesome. I love that shit. But Rashad, how about you, man? Been watching anything for the Flex and Chill lately? Been watching like Hulu, Netflix, something like that?
Yeah, I actually finished up a show on Netflix called Ozark. I'm not sure if you guys had heard about it or even attempted to watch it. But yeah, it was a pretty good show. Like when I first went into it, one of my friends recommended it to me. He was like, "It's like he told me like basically it kind of starts off like Breaking Bad did in sort of a way, and then it just veers off into its own thing. And it pretty much is like this rich family in Chicago gets their whole lives pulled up out of the ground by a Mexican drug lord and like his gang. And they go from the suburbs of Chicago to basically this country bumpkin ass town in Missouri, the Ozarks, where and it's so country, so bumpkin, they have pregnant strippers on the pole as part of the main event, and it's a really good show. Like it goes places where Breaking Bad couldn't, basically. Yeah. And one of my favorite things about the show is like because one thing I didn't know, like it stars Jason Bateman. He directed some of the episodes himself, and that surprised me because they were really well directed too. And I was just like, wow, this guy should really like think about like taking on some extra stuff and not just he's obviously doing it now by directing his own show, Digs In, by both directing and producing in it. But yeah, it's a really great like drug, kind of like a caper thriller show. It's only about 10 episodes, so yeah, it's really enjoyable. And it's already been approved for season 2, so I can't wait.
That's the thing I'm liking about these shows, man. I love the fact that they're like shortening down these fucking like seasons. You know what I mean? Like I like the idea. Like people are talking shit about Game of Thrones, and I'm not even into Game of Thrones. I didn't watch anything, but I love how with Game of Thrones they're just like, yeah, we're gonna do this just 7 episodes. It's like, yes, thank you. Defenders, I think was like what 8 episodes?
8, yeah, it was 8 episodes.
8.
Yeah, and like I can talk shit about Defenders all fucking day, and I won't because Tay's gonna get really mad at me. but I really, that's you're making it for me. You're helping me out as a fucking viewer. You know, like I don't got all day to fucking watch this shit. So yeah, man, Ozark, it does seem cool, and I'm glad to see Jason Bateman doing something other than just the same fucking generic ass white dude.
Oh,
character.
I'm so glad not to see him not like doing like comedy bits and shit. You get some forms of like just like him cracking a joke every once in a while in this show, but it is not the focus at all, and I'm so happy about that.
Yeah,
and
I mean, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, like, looking at pictures like this little still over here, he's making a face where I'm just kind of like, I don't expect him to be Jason Bateman. Like, he looks older, he looks more serious. Like, I can take this dude seriously as like a villain or someone who's just going through shit. You know what I mean? Like, fucking bravo.
Yeah, and he pretty much is just going through shit. Like he okay, like it's not a spoiler. Like the way the episode starts off. The episode starts off with the Mexican drug lord comes in, is like, hey, I know somebody's stealing from me. I just need y'all to tell me who. The drug lord finds out, kills everybody in front of Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman knows, like, hey, I know you're going to kill me and my family, but just let me live. And he watches as his best friend gets dumped into a plastic vat of acid and just watches his friend get melted so he can get transported across the fucking country. It is really fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Feel good show of the year.
Even his baby's like, God damn, that's quite the storyline. Like,
man, if you were him in this show, you would get so pissed because he gets he has. Like his goal is to basically launder $8 million of money, take it from real money to make it untraceable. Basically, take that money, and as soon as he gets there to this country ass town, his money gets stolen from him by hotel clerks that like are living in a trailer and drinking beer. So he's very pissed off at this point. Like he's like, all right, I'm just gonna kill somebody at this point. Like he's so close to doing it.
Yeah, man, I'm actually like legitimately fucking sold on this shit. I really want to watch it, especially if
it's really good too.
Yeah, man. No, but how about you, Eddie? Like, I mean, anything you've been watching lately, man?
I mean, as far as streaming goes, I just kind of just stream music and that's it. But I watched that MCA Plus this morning, and that turned out pretty good. So.
Okay,
First thing in the morning,
the
I was like, oh, I'm gonna rewatch this shit.
So last night, man, Alan got so pissed at her playing Rocket League, and this motherfucker. And I know I brought this up on the show already. And definitely, you guys should go check that shit out. But with that too, hopefully, we can probably play one of those games tonight after Quiplash, if you guys are still down for doing that in the after hours. And everyone, tell Alan how much you love him and his gameplay, so this motherfucker can stay on and do it.
How do you get pissed playing Rocket League?
Because I whooped that ass so thoroughly.
Man, I thought we were exaggerating a little bit, but I was like, no. He's legitimately getting mad. He's like, why is Nick in here? It's supposed to be 101, goddammit.
Get the fuck out of here.
Did Birdman just turn into Joe Budden while he was playing Rocket League?
Kaja, you nuts. Are you happy, Kaja? You can't be happy, motherfucker.
Why are we having fun right now? This is not supposed to be fun.
But Alan's fucking awesome, though. But yeah, no, I recommend everyone to do
Kaja,
that.
you know what a three-way deal is, motherfucker? We're playing Rocket League. What are you talking about, Alan?
No, Alan's great, though, man. And here's the thing. Alan technically didn't have to do that last match. He won. Me and Alan won.
Yeah. If anything, I got petty, but he went way more petty than I did.
But you tried. No, you were trying, and honestly, I'm sorry, Alan. I know I was your partner and everything, but I was trying to get you mad too, dude. Like,
I know, known you long enough. I don't know. I honestly don't know why I got so angry.
God, it's the funniest shit. I
That was
love
like
it so
some
much.
12-year-old playing Call of Duty type shit.
No, I have that happen all the time too. I get mad over some silly shit. But the thing is,
yeah.
aside from that stuff, Ruthless, I'm gonna ask you really quick, man. Live streaming, Hulu, anything, man. What you been watching?
You know what I've been watching? That
Uh-oh.
Narcos.
Oh,
Yeah,
Narcos
dude.
is back.
Yeah,
Woo!
and Alan's been watching Narcos too, right, Alan?
Oh yeah. I'm only a couple episodes in, but yeah, it's really good.
So I'm gonna start off with Ruthless, because Ruthless, did you watch this entire thing?
No, I'm not crazy. I actually had to sleep last night. No, I got to episode 3. Really happy with the way the season's going so far. When I found out the story behind why Pedro Pascal's back and what they're doing with him this season, I was really happy with, because a lot of shows, they try to keep the characters kind of where they are to give you the same feel over and over again. Walking Dead. So I was really happy to see that his character Pena got promoted and that they're doing different things with him now. I was also happy to see the new, like, that we weren't losing the ground crew like he was last 2 seasons with his partner. We get a whole new ground crew in Chris and Dan, they're different, but they're a little funnier, to be honest with you, and they work together better. So, like, I like that whole setup. The Cali cartel's interesting. They're ruthless as fuck, man. Like, Pablo's bad. Watching these fuckers go to work, I can't ruin it, but they do some shit with a motorcycle that I was just like,
that's like
Oh,
that first episode.
that's the first episode, yeah.
Well, actually, Alan, I'm gonna have you spoil that particular part, because if it's the first episode, do you guys count that spoilers?
No. The only thing is,
Yeah, I want to watch this.
I literally was watching the first episode, but I had to stop. Please.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But again, like he's saying, it's really good. It takes its time. The only criticism I have, and it's just slight, is because they're doing different things with different cartels. They're not really bringing a lot of the cast from the old series back. And one of the things is, like, Pena is good as an actor, but I don't know, like, the main guy who you're following is great acting. I don't think he's particularly good when he does the voiceovers, because a lot of what the show does at the start of the episode or midway through, it talks about it in a past tense setting. So it's talk about what's going on. And I preferred Murphy in the old seasons because he just had better gravitas when explaining everything. And that's the only criticism I have. I love the show. I love how the acting's going. They even have, like, actual shootouts and action scenes in it, so it's really interesting what they're doing.
And it looks intense.
I think it's the best part, though. Like, Murphy's thing was like, I'm really subdued. I'm used to being in the U.S. I haven't really been in this shit. This is Barcelona. I'm really dealing with these problems. Whereas Pena is just like, I've been doing this shit forever. Like, he is already too old for this shit.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing. Like, I'm looking at this, and I mean, obviously it's a trailer, so I mean, I can't even say like I know how the show is edited or whatever. But it seems pretty fast paced. Like, there's so much action in here, and I know it's a trailer for the entire season, but they don't like to tell you a lot of shit that happens at the end. So I'm just assuming that this thing just fast fucking moving. Like, it doesn't have time to fuck around. No,
it's actually the opposite. It really does take its time, and I kind of like that because it's something that Ganja always brings up, that when Hollywood does these drug movies, they only go on the highlights, and it's like, no, you really see almost like not the exact day-to-day, but you see a lot of the minute and kind of what these guys have to do in planning a lot of what's going on. Like, this whole series is a lot of stuff of what they're planning and kind of how to continue it, and you get to see the little guys, you get to see the government, you get to see kind of realistically what was going on at the time. So it's kind of the opposite. It's really slow.
I think the thing that you like is it's not boringly slow paced. Yeah. Like, you're getting to see a lot of you're getting the intrigue of it all. Like, it's not all glitz and guns, but it's still very intriguing what's going on, how they're planning to do stuff. The stuff that people talk about that they like about, Game of Thrones and shit, they're doing that with the drug stuff, but you're still getting multiple perspectives because you're not staying with just the DEA or just the cartels. You know everything that's going on, and you're trying to figure out, all right, when are they going to figure out what's going on with the other side? And so that really keeps it feels fast-paced without actually being fast-paced.
And that's the thing, because it seems like it's going to be digestible by somebody like me who will, I will defend Michael Bay, sometimes. And people are like, man, fuck, you don't know movies. I'm like, sorry, but I know entertainment. I know experiencing something. This, I'm sold on it, even though you guys are saying it's slow. And, that's a good sign, too, because you know what else is fucking slow? Goodfellas. You know what else is slow? Casino. Shit like that. And, I love those fucking movies.
Well, then the way I sell this to everyone I know is that Narcos, like, season 1, season 2, is like Breaking Bad if it was real.
Yeah, and I need to watch Breaking Bad too. But like that.
Did you ever watch Cocaine Cowboys? Did you ever watch that?
No, I never have. Oh wait, you're asking Alan?
No, I'm asking anybody. Have you guys?
Oh
Have any
yeah,
of you guys
yeah.
ever watched?
Not just Sammy Cat.
Oh, when me and Alan first became friends, and I was telling him about all the crazy stuff that happens in South Florida, I was like, "No, man, my whole town's fucking nuts. They made documentaries about the shit down there. Look, hold on, I'm gonna show you Cocaine Cowboys."
That was great. I love that documentary.
For anybody who hasn't watched Narcos at all, think if you've ever watched Cocaine Cowboys, think about getting to see a lot of the stuff that they're just explaining in the Cocaine Cowboys documentary, and getting a chance to kind of go in and see how people think about certain stuff. Yes, there's fictionalized portions of it because it's television. You got to have some television to it.
Of course.
But for the most part, this is a realistic portrayal of everything that went down. And like I said, it's compelling as fuck, man. Like I really don't know how you can't like Narcos. I've never met a person who I've told to watch Narcos and said, "Oh man, I don't like that."
Oh
And
man,
Cocaine
yeah,
Cowboys-
that's definitely right.
I don't. I'm sorry, man. I'm just
What?
getting into it.
No, but hold on.
Gunge, you
gotta watch more than one episode, man. It gets better.
I really couldn't get into it. Like my problem with a lot of these shows, like I like real documentaries. Like I like Gangland, when National Geographic follows people around. I like real stories about real drug dealers. When they start like doing these fictionalized versions of Hollywood, I really tune out. Like it's too, especially when it comes to Pablo Escobar. Like I keep saying this to Alan. Like I heard legends about him growing up in South Florida, just hanging out with people on the corner, and just people telling me about, oh yeah, my uncle used to work with a gang. They used to get shipment from him, and I used to actually live maybe a handful of blocks down from one of his old houses that recently got torn down. So I actually came from a neighborhood that this dude was really well known and really well talked about. So just watching all these stories that I heard about, it's really no interest to me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that. Damn, I thought you were gonna be like, "No, man, Narcos is shit too."
I guess my best way to describe it is like they did a story about the guy that was big in Chicago. I'm blanking on his name right now. During Prohibition.
Whitey.
Al Capone. If they did an Al Capone Narcos version, I imagine a lot of people from Chicago wouldn't be that interested because they already hear all the stories,
Not
all the
necessarily.
historic stuff about
They
it.
did. It's called The Untouchables.
True.
But even on your point, like Roger, like yes, you heard a lot of the stories, but as Ruthless explained, like it's how it plays out. It takes a much different perspective. Another show to compare this to is The People versus OJ. Like that's something like I'm sure most of us in this room probably grew up with the whole OJ story, but the perspectives they take in both shows is from everyone's perspective. It's not just focused on Escobar. Narcos, Escobar, whatever.
That's one of the things I can actually give Narcos the most credit for is that they aren't just giving you the Pablo stories. Yes, you get a lot of the Pablo stories, but they're giving you why the DA was in certain situations, why certain things happened the way they did.
Yeah.
As much as has been released to the public. So yeah, you could go read these case files, but you're never really going to see how that could have played out in a true to life-ish setting.
Yeah, and I will say, I mean, Ganja brought this up, but I know Milo was in the chat saying like, "Nah, shit's fake as shit." Like, I mean, whether or not it's fake in the sense of like people looking at.
In the early seasons, they really focused on real gang history and talked to real people that were a part of that lifestyle. Towards later seasons, they were really stretching to find anything to keep going.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. Like when I watch this show, I mean, like even though because I feel like everything's gonna be true because they really do the research and they show facts on screen all the time. Like I don't know what he's talking about in his fakeness, but I will say maybe the inconsistencies are like semantics.
Inconsistencies, and then later on in the seasons, they were really stretching, like finding information on like little small gangs that really don't make an impact, like the Bloods, Crips, Viceroys, the Latin Kings, the ones that were like really major and actually come from like the 70s and 80s, like right when gangbanging really popped in. They started doing newer ones, and it was really they were really trying to stretch it at that point.
And I see Milo's point in this sense because I will say, dude, if I was ever involved in a fucking serious game or doing a documentary on, I wouldn't be doing an interview showing my fucking face. Like,
well, that was the thing. Like, all these guys were ex-gangbangers, or they really like got caught, served their sentence, and they're just telling their story about what they served time for.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do like the show. I find it entertaining as fuck. But I mean, I totally see how people have issues with that show. But season 8, I think, is going on right now. Like that show's been around for a fucking while, and it's still just kicking. So,
that's gonna be like one of those ones from Cops, man. They're gonna keep going until they talk about like Bitcoin gangs and shit on the internet.
Bitcoin gangs.
It's gonna happen.
He started off as a guy on the internet with the Midnight Chat Tech. His name is 90s.
He realized he could pay cam girls for an extra $1.50 if he can hack this account.
He preferred Blasians.
The Blazing epidemic was a completely separate matter, but we feel like it's related.
But Allie, I'm gonna ask you really quick. Anything you've been watching on any kind of streaming device or whatever?
Just
It's my favorite show.
Just the first 30 minutes of Narcos, but season 3. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, I just watched Wonder Woman again.
Oh, how dare you? How dare you? But
Wonder Woman. Oh man, that was great Wonder Woman when that church exploded, man.
oh man, dude, and then Wonder Woman was selling drugs to the rest of La Mascara. Like,
Hey, man, we all know she actually went to Germany to get her hands on amphetamines to move it back in this area.
okay, let me ask you this really quick, and we'll just keep this to 1 minute. Okay, we're not going to talk a lot about it because I don't want to piss off Tay. I'm really scared of Tay right now because.
He's not even in the chat. You can talk as much shit as you want.
No, she'll come out. She'll be like, "Hey, what you doing?" No, but fuck you. But Allie, do you kind of see my point a little bit more so now about Wonder Woman? Did the rating go down a little bit, or are you still like, man, fuck Nick?
Nah, I feel the same exact way as I did before.
Oh,
like,
wow, well then I guess you fucking suck. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
No, actually, she said fuck me.
well, I
gotta read
agreed
between the
with
lines.
you in some points before.
That's true. You did actually. We kind of did understand each other. I'm just trying to start shit with you. You know, I'm sorry. Wonder Woman sucks. Anyways, so yep. So,
Hey Nick, have you seen Transformers 5?
okay. Yes, it sucks. All right, it fucking
Okay,
sucks.
it's not that bad.
God
No,
damn,
yes
Rashad.
it is.
No, okay,
Got
dude.
you there.
I
They
don't
did
like
Unicron
it.
wrong,
It's
man.
not that bad actually. I had fun with it.
Oh, Alan, fuck you.
Oh my
It is,
god,
it is a
Alan.
bad
really?
movie and it is bad Transformers.
Oh, I can't wait to watch Nick try to talk shit to me because this is gonna be funny.
Wait, no, hold on. Oh, wait, what are we trying to do? Don't go after that fucking bird. We're talking.
You said your ass right.
Okay, I know you're going to talk about movies on Flex and Chill and everything, and you can still do that. But before we get into that, please, sir, why do you like Transformers 5 The Last Night?
Because it's one of those things where it's like, when you walk into these movies, it's like, just show me something. And what I got is a lot of cool, well-shot action, a lot of actually not bad dialogue, and yeah, there's a lot of dumb shit, but it was like watching Kidnap, where it's like, I'm just entertained by how kind of weird and stupid this is. But also, it actually tried, and it was like, wow, this is actually not bad. Like, I didn't feel like my time was wasted. Like, I watched a bunch of movies and just didn't really care for it. But when I was watching Anthony Hopkins, like, I love watching Anthony Hopkins talk. I actually do like Mark Wahlberg a lot. There's a lot of scenes that could have been cut, but
Wait, you
I'm
like
just sitting there
Anthony
going, I'm
Hopkins?
enjoying myself watching this.
You liked Anthony Hopkins in this movie.
I loved Anthony Hopkins in this
Okay, you
movie.
know what, motherfucker?
This is a stain on
That's
this man's
it.
career.
Oh, okay.
Bizarre.
Red 2.
Bam! I'm going to shoot your ass. Like, that took a while to get to
Did
that
we
joke.
all see Red 2? Like, that's a stain on everyone's career.
He actually said in this movie,
Alright.
a bitchin' car.
Okay, yes, that was awful. I'm not saying that this movie's
Dumbass.
perfect.
Oh, sorry, my cough.
I never said that this movie's perfect or better than sex. I just said I enjoyed myself watching it. I also enjoyed myself watching Kidnap with like 40 other people, you know?
That was different.
Sounds like
We
a
took
better
over
than
that
sex to
goddamn
me.
theater.
You know, the thing is like, this is the only movie, I gotta be honest, this is the only movie where I saw this right here and I was like, you directed this? You said, hey, you do that thing, yes, and then you over here, you do that thing too. It's like, this is your fault, Michael Bay.
Bitch,
Like,
you're the biggest Michael Bay fan, yet I never saw anyone talk more shit about Michael Bay than you.
what, no, I always talk good about that man. That's a great
Oh,
man
my,
right
every
there.
single time you're like, oh man, Transformers movies are so great. I hate all of them except for 1 and 4. Like, bitch, there's 5 of them.
Okay, no, listen. 2's bad, 3's alright, 4 is the shit,
As a Star Wars fan, I give you a pass, Nick.
and then 5, ooh, 5, like, I don't know how you like this, like,
I don't know how you're a fan of Michael Bay. You hate both of his fucking movies.
dude, Armageddon was good. Armageddon, I ate an animal cracker off a chick's belly over that
Man,
fucking
this
movie.
motherfucker loves Pearl Harbor, son. He can't teach them all about history.
Okay, shit.
So next time you want to talk shit about something like Wonder Woman or something, remember where you stand,
The
man.
Rock taught him about geography.
Hey, The Rock was good. I would defend The Rock.
Never seen The Rock. That's the only Michael Bay
You
movie
smell
I've
what
never
I'm
seen.
That's the
cooking.
only one that I wouldn't fight you on, Rashad.
Hey,
Okay.
Pain and Gain was fucking awesome.
Yes! Pain
That's
Gain.
only because you're a fucking trainer.
It really is. It really is. I'm
You
fucking on
biased
to
motherfucker.
that. Jesus Christ himself has blessed me with many abilities. One of them is knocking someone the fuck out. I say that.
Fucking A, man. No, but Michael
God.
Bay, look, I'm sorry. Look, here's the thing, Alan. That's cool that you like this movie. I'm not gonna talk to you anymore. But I will say, Michael Bay is actually a pretty good director. It's just this fucking movie was really bad, and you could tell that he didn't want to fucking do this. It's like he signed some kind of contract ahead of time and just had to do this shit as his
Yeah,
last.
it's like an
go-ahead.
actual contract. Is that what that happens?
Yeah, and then also too, shut the fuck. No, but then also too, I know he's like completely cutting the shit off because now like this is his last one, so everything else is just like I think he tried to fuck it up on purpose. Like, hell yeah, you guys are gonna kick me out of this fucking thing, not pay me more money. You know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gonna destroy this franchise. Let's see how much money you make without me. So hey, who knows what happens?
Like last thing before we move on to someone else's flex channel. Y'all say he didn't try, but I see a lot of actual like attempts at actual like lore building. Sure, it was stupid saying that Transformers have always been around and help with the railroad and assassinated JFK or whatever the fuck they're trying to do. Whatever the
That's
fuck.
Oh, shit.
That makes so much sense. But my point is, it's like you see actual attempts that there could have been something. So honestly, I hope Michael Bay leaves, and that should be someone that can write and actually do something. Because I think they can do something with Transformers. It's essentially like their ability to do whatever the fuck they want with unlimited amount of money. They just need someone that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, dude, I'll give you that. I mean, hey, like, I'm just glad you're hopeful. Someone's actually like just hoping for shit and just like I don't know, positive for once. I mean, I guess I'll give it to you. I don't know.
Well, Nick, I'll give you this. I'll honestly say any time of day, I enjoy the first Transformers 2007 film. Like, to me, I can watch that anytime just because, like, that movie is quotable. I love what they did with Starscream and Megatron. I don't think it's a great movie. Like, I wouldn't go out and, like, say, this deserves a fucking Oscar, okay? Y'all fucking noobs. You don't do that shit. It's just a fun movie, and I like that quote, like, I ate the whole plate. The whole plate. Man, shit like that. It's just
No, but this movie was a shit, man. Like this 2007 movie, I could have sworn when I saw this, dude, I was like, dude, like that's going to make everything. Like I can't. How do you fuck this up? It's robots turning into things, and it's okay for it. Like, oh.
Hey, as I learned at a young age, you can fuck anything up if you try hard enough.
Damn, like what toy did you try to break?
What kind of mistakes have you made in your life?
Yeah, that motherfucker had like a nice, expensive major chip hazard. It was like, no, you can break this.
No, this bothered me as a kid. So back in McDonald's actually used to give real toys, and the Inspector Gadget movie came out. What they did is they released the parts, like the arms, the legs, the body, and the head. And
I remember that.
I spent months getting all the pieces. I got that. I kept that in my drawer, and I knew that if I keep this in my drawer, I'll have this forever. But if I give this to my brother, he'll lose it in a day. And after like a couple of months, I'm like, I'll give it to my brother. Lost it in a day.
No, man.
I was so pissed off.
That was your fault. You knew your family.
It was. I should have fucking kept it. I would have had it this day.
No, but Ganja, here's the thing. I never really ask you about certain things when it comes to these flex and chill movies and whatnot because usually you're high. But what you been watching on flex and chill, sir?
For me, right now, I've been feeling fucking BoJack Horseman, man. I have been binging that shit for like the past 2 weeks. It is one of the greatest television shows. I'm trying to get Alan hooked to it recently. He happened to see one of the worst episodes in Austin. If anybody that watches BoJack Horseman, it was the one where Aquafina and she actually plans an abortion for a fake baby shower. Oh, that shit was stupid, but it was great for somebody who likes absurd humor like myself. BoJack is basically it's a story about a horse. He comes up in a kind of like almost a rich upper class, middle class family. So he basically gets into Hollywood as a comedian, and he gets a show in the 90s, and this is basically the startup premise. And it takes place in about, I think, around our timeline, so around late 2000s and 10s. So he's basically a washed-up actor at this point. He's basically the guys from Full House if all of them had really shitty careers and haven't really done anything from the 90s. And he just lays back on a lot of his morals, and it's basically him coming to terms that his life has really kind of made a standstill. He's really comes to terms with his depression and just how Hollywood is for like older people from that timeline who are trying to get work and find it hard to live in that kind of lifestyle. And it's basically from a story from a horse about trying to make it in Hollywood and just trying to deal with people and his lifestyle. He has a lot of crazy adventures. One of my favorite things about BoJack is really it has an emotional setting with it.
Oh God, yeah, it does.
A lot of people wouldn't get this from the animation and just from how I'm describing it as an absurd concept, but it's like Futurama in the sense that it has a lot of episodes that really touch the soul, like about him coming to terms with his depression, how he treats his family, and how he should be a better person. And just people around him in general, how they should come to terms with making themselves better through action and rather than running away with it. I appreciate it a lot. It's a great show. I give it 5 out of 5, and I can't wait for the new season. I think it's premiering on September 8th. Man, make sure to check it out on Netflix.
Next week.
Yeah, next week.
Dude,
so make sure to check it out.
That show is phenomenal.
It really is, dude. No, that fucking show is great. I only watched a few episodes, but I will say, dude, there's certain things where I'm just kind of like, I don't even know how to feel. Like, I'm laughing, but it's like, Do you feel like this is spoiler territory stuff where I shouldn't say anything, Ganja, or can I say just one thing about a certain sexual
Go ahead.
situation?
At this point, if you didn't see it, you're not really a fan of BoJack, or you just really haven't hit your radar. So this might just make you more interested about the show. So go ahead, Nick.
Well, there's a
Like the
situation
second
where the horse ends up fucking like he ends up sleeping with a child character where she grew up at this point. But like they
Right.
get into a situation where he sleeps with her, and it's just kind of like I get how they kind of like, you know, they're not breaking any laws here. They're not like fucking up any kind of like, oh man, that's way too intense for a show. But the fact that they make sure to remind you constantly that like, yes, they worked together when she was a kid, and he's fucking her, and he's a horse, by the way. This is a horse, fucking some random adult girl.
Well, that's the thing. Like, they don't even mention that he's a horse. Like, all these animals are anthropomorphic, and they don't have tails, and it just seems like they're just animals just for the sake of a joke or a pun. Like, they have a lot of famous people that come and do their lines over, and they, I think the only one I could think of right off the top of my head was some guy with the last name Bass, and he literally appeared as a bass as an announcer. So they're really into their animal puns.
Yeah, like Mr. Peanut Butter, freaking like, oh, I'm so happy because he was like the anti BoJack. Well, he was like he had the same show as BoJack Horseman, right? And it was like,
Yes.
oh, we're having a crossover episode. But to go off what Nick said, there are, besides, I think I know what you're talking about. That was, you know, yeah, because you said the actress he grew up with. The one that really just got to me was in season 2, where I'm not going to spoil it because it's a powerful moment, but he goes to visit an old friend and he like gets to meet her family, and there's just like a fallout that happens that just, oh, that touched my soul. I felt so uncomfortable after that.
And
It was like,
it even has an artistic episode. I don't know if you remember the episode where he's underwater jacks, and there is zero dialogue, just animal sounds and mimicking hand motions and just facial expressions in the animation.
yeah.
And it is a fucking amazing episode. No dialogue whatsoever, but you really get what they're trying to get with the animation and from the facial reactions of these characters. And the whole episode is just a symbolization of him trying to get over what holds him down.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like, I hate to be this guy too, because I always make fun of Julian and Justin for this shit. But like, the work they put into the animation here, dude. Like, there's so much story in just this fucking still. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, there's like lust in the girl, and then like the other guy, like, the eyes, the horse. Like, it's a fucking horse. Like, I watch the show, I'm watching it, I forget he's a horse. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, like this dude's emoting so much. I fucking love the show. And I don't know, like, it reminds me of Regular Show and Bob's Burgers and all these like weird, like,
It really has that vibe with it, like that kind of absurd humor with the heart towards it.
yeah.
And Will Arnett does a great job as BoJack.
Oh,
yeah.
but I don't think I could see Will Arnett without seeing BoJack now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So Lego Batman, when he does those roles, it's like, oh, it's BoJack as Batman. So,
BoJack got a rope finally, man. He's probably playing that bill.
It's equivalent to H. John Benjamin with Bob, or even harsher.
Yeah.
Like, gets weird. Like H. John Benjamin, if he's in
Bob,
anything else,
he's not Bob to me though. He'll always be Coach.
yeah, he's Coach
Coach McGurk.
Yeah, Coach McGurk. He's always Coach McGurk to me.
Forget it time.
Yeah, no, I love H. John Benjamin. Like, some of these guys' voices just, it's just so synonymous with the characters, which is very. I don't know if that's because they're so good at their acting job, their voice acting job, or if it's just the storyline that it just makes you like, yes, it's imprinted in my fucking brain, in my retina.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, it's crazy to me.
Well, just some voice actors just have the right, like that character, that's their voice, and it just makes you fall more in dear with that character when you feel like it kind of could exist in the real world, and that's
Like
what those
Patrick
guys
Warburton.
do for them. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, Alan, the strain, sir. Man,
OG Kush, Pineapple Kush. I got some good strains. What you need?
oh, you motherfucker. I did not know.
Oh, that suddenly explains that photo you sent me a couple days ago.
You're damn right.
No, but okay, so you are pretty much damn near like really into the strain, right? Like, you're not just watching this for the sake of watching it. You're actually.
Oh,
into
no,
the
no,
strain.
I love this fucking show. Like, I've watched it since season 1. I know me and Jordan, we often like chat about, like, we have conversations about the show, and yeah, I fucking love the show. Straight from, like, I kind of avoided this show because it just had the worst advertisement when I first saw it, because this show came out like roughly after the Twilight craze had just died. So the advertisement, like, one of the articles for this fucking show was, oh, the strain, has vampires that are feral, not lovers. And I was like, that's the dumbest fucking tagline I've ever heard. I'm never watching this garbage. And then after, like, it gets to season 3, I'm like, I'm gonna just check it out for the hell of it. And I was surprised at how smart the show was. Because one thing that always bothered me about the zombies, vampires, werewolves, all those supernatural creatures is how just they don't fucking care about science. They just do things for the sake of doing things. But the perspective and the angle this show takes is from the CDC, a place I want to fucking work one day. And they're dealing with essentially the equivalent of a zombie apocalypse but with vampires. And they go hard into the science and they nail all of it. Like a lot of the stuff kind of like, it makes sense that people are calling it curses. Because back then, of course, that's what they would think it is. But then you see how much of it actually like portrays to real science and real like bacteriology and real virology and how they're dealing with the shit as CDC, doctors and representatives. Like this is an incredibly smart show, incredibly a lot of fun. Like right up to season 4, like they're gonna finish it in 3 or 4 episodes, and the series is done, and I'm loving what they're doing.
Yeah, man, I fucking like I only seen a few episodes of season 1, and I fucking love the show, and just the creatures are so fucking like just creepy, legitimately creepy.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
all
get
practical.
that from I don't get that from True Blood. I don't get that from fucking zombies and Walking Dead. I don't get that from anywhere. I'm never creeped out anymore with TV shows. This fucking show is legitimately fucking like unnerving. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I dig it, but at the same time too, I just like the pacing of it. Like it's kind of fast, but kind of slow. It makes sure it does that thing too, where like you feel like when you get to the finale, you're gonna get worth your time that you put into it. You know what I mean?
Oh
And
yeah, and
that's
I love what they're doing with the characters too. Because one of the characters, and probably my favorite character in the show, he's just an exterminator. He's a rat catcher. But when he kind of comes into the show, he's like kind of almost like an everyman type thing. Like he's basically the whole thing is he knows what it's like for creatures and vermin to kind of hide underground, and that's kind of how they treat the vampires in this. They don't treat them as the Euro trash motherfuckers like, ooh, look at me, I am a vampire, I will suck your blood. Like they actually treat them like feral animals, like rats and stuff. So when you have one of the guys whose job is basically to exterminate rats, and he's like coming up with all these ideas, trying to set up traps, trying to actually get them out of it, it's like really intense. And for the first season, nobody in New York really knows what's going on except for a handful of people. It just starts to escalate. So by season 4, everyone kind of knows that this shit's going on.
Yeah, and I will say, and I know I'm a guy who likes to reference a lot of shit, and it's like, Nick, can you just come up with a fucking opinion sometimes? I'm sorry, but here's the thing, though. This reminds me of the 30 Days of Night vampires. And these fucking vampires, I was like, dude, fuck Twilight. Fuck all these things that are ruining the good, hard work that these fucking movie makers put into these movies. These vampires right here in 30 Days of Night are the same, are actually not even as threatening as the ones in The Strain.
Oh man, is that Mr. Mustache?
Mr. Mustache, Josh
Yes!
Hartnett. Yes, man, people, you guys do not know what we're talking about, and that's okay. But we call Josh Hartnett Mr. Mustache because he had mustache in Penny.
And Penny
Oh,
Dreadful,
yeah.
Yeah, there he is, my boy.
Yeah,
that guy.
there's nobody with a mustache in that scene. But yeah, no, like again, they treat them like wild animals, the vampires in The Strain. So it's like, and they have a lot of interesting rules that they stick with. Like it's a situation if you get scratched, like they have these little worm things, and that's what infects you. So if you get this on you, like as soon as it touches your skin, it goes into you. And it's brutal to watch sometimes because you see somebody covered in this stuff and it burrowing into their skin. And you're just like, oh god, this is uncomfortable to watch. And the thing is, if they touch you, they scratch you, you just get infected straight up like a virus thing. And it's like, so when people are like barely grazed, you're like, shit, did they get skin? Like you're worried about a lot of stuff that's going on. And they kill characters off. So to me, it's like this is like The Walking Dead if it was good.
Yeah, wait, you guys be fucking with me too. So many people mess with me on this shit with the talking show Walking Dead.
When I say
Alan,
like The Walking Dead,
so they kill people and you still enjoy it? They kill main characters and you still enjoy it?
yeah, because they don't kill them because they're like, we have to end the season. What do you want to do? Oh, just kill that character. Who cares? When people die, it's like, oh shit. It's either it makes sense, it feels within the plot, and it's not like you're expecting it. You're like, well, this character has to die. It's like, no, holy shit. Is this character gonna make it through? Like something just happened last episode. I'm not gonna spoil it, and I'm thinking, is this character not gonna fucking make it? Like, you're unsure of the character deaths in this, and that to me is how you do a show. Like The Walking Dead, you're like, that guy's probably gonna die at some fucking point. Who cares? With this, it's like, shit. Is this guy gonna die? Is that guy gonna die? Like, there are stakes in this show.
And here's the thing, like I know Allie's gonna be like, oh, not this fucking argument again, because we all hang out in the MCA like fucking Google Hangouts call, just like by ourselves and everything. And me and Alan have this fucking war, and every time I bring this argument up with him liking season 2. Keep in mind what he just said. His favorite season is season fucking 2, which me being a diehard Walking Dead fan was the worst season of any show I've ever seen.
Hey, I just was fucking careful when I said like The Walking Dead, because The Walking Dead likes to pretend it had science for the first like season and a half, when they basically kind of do what I liked in The Strain, where they go to the CDC and said, fuck it, we're not even going to bother solving this. We're just gonna let it go and not care that, hey, maybe we should try solving this. Maybe we should cure it. That's what this show tries to do. This show tries to cure it. This show tries to fight it with viruses. This show actually does shit.
Yeah, well, we'll disagree with that. I mean, we'll agree with the Strain trying to do that, but I also feel like The Walking Dead does that too. But, you know, it's okay. It's not a big deal. It's fine. It's fine. And Ruthless, I know you talk shit about Walking Dead too. It's fine as well. But when I meet y'all motherfuckers in New York, I'm going to bash both your fucking heads together. Okay?
We're gonna do like a Hulk Hogan.
To my new.
What?
Can't tell y'all where it is yet, but y'all
No, you're
Sorry, you're fucking up, Ruthless. Say it again, man.
I said I won't be in New York because I'll be moving to. I've just moved to my new place, but you know.
That really sucks, man. I was really like hyped up to me fucking Ruthless, but
You're gonna see me anyway. I'll be like an hour and a half away from you at that point.
oh yeah, no shit, yeah, no, we're definitely doing this, especially maybe at EDC next year, Ganja. We might be doing this, son. Woo!
Man, I'm gonna take Raven Nick. We're gonna go to a casino. I'm gonna kick to a brothel. It's gonna be just chaos and debauchery. I was gonna drive us home from it.
Dude, I'm gonna go to a brothel. I'm gonna take pictures.
I'm not making Alley drive. I'm surprised she didn't kill all of y'all.
Oh yeah,
Man.
I'm like, why am I always a designated driver now?
Because you
And
don't
then
do drugs.
Sober Squad.
Because Ellie, you're more responsible than everyone in this call combined.
Allie, I want to thank you for driving my drunk ass home every night for like 5 out of 4 of those nights. Thank you, girl.
That made no
Also-
sense.
5 out of 4 of those nights.
I was severely hammered. Do not question my dates.
I don't think
Please.
you remember some of those nights.
Dude,
No, I do not.
you about to get fucked up, man.
She's about to stab me. I'll help pay for parking. Leave me alone.
So
No,
nice.
But Al, I'm gonna ask you, just ending off this discussion and everything. Well, you can. Damn that fucking thing.
It's like I ain't talking about the Strain again.
That bird
Just sick of the Walking Dead talk, so.
No,
But I got a quick question. Just a quick question. Is a Strain available like somewhere like Netflix, Hulu, anywhere like I can watch it?
I think
I've
I'm wrong.
I've seen it on Hulu.
They posted it on Netflix. I could. Let me just quickly check, but I think they did post it on Netflix.
Because I am
I'm
actually
pretty-
interested in watching it.
And I could have
I
sworn it
think
was
I've
on
seen it
Amazon.
advertised on Hulu.
No, yeah, it must be on Hulu because I'm trying to find it. But
Okay,
no,
cool.
like I recommend it, and it's not like long episodes. They're 13 episode seasons. It's something I said like FX. Like if you want a good show, just look on anything on FX because they're doing
Yeah.
something like they're on par with Netflix of good original shows.
Oh man, no. FX is kicking ass, and I feel like they're just like I don't want them to start sniffing themselves like, oh shit, we the shit, because man, they can easily make their own fucking like video streaming service and just leave TV, and they'll be good. Like, they got
They
Boss
pretty
Burgers.
much could.
Well, they kind of do. They have FX now, but I mean, you know, that's just like one of those like, oh, you want to watch this when you're
Yeah.
taking a shit, you know? but and that's what I think of it. Not
Now
on the go.
you can.
I know most people would say like, "Hey, you can watch this in the car while you're driving." It's like, no, you watch it when you take a shit. Come on, let's be honest. But no, but FX now, I feel like they might be building that up hardcore because like these original programming things they have, which I don't think Netflix even has the rights to play those on their streaming service. So it's like FX might be on the up and up, dude. I'm telling you, every fucking show they come out with is like good right now.
Yeah, except for American Horror Story. But besides that, like all of them have been bangers. Like The People versus OJ, like I mentioned.
Snowfall.
The Sons of Anarchy. Like a
Yeah.
lot of their shows.
Even old shows like Rescue Me.
Yeah, or Atlanta.
Rescue Me is an FX show.
Yeah,
no,
Rescue Me
Oh, I
with
didn't know
FX.
But yeah, no, Atlanta too. I mean, just fucking.
Oh, yeah, Atlanta, yeah.
They're really whooping ass, man. So I mean, I'm loving.
I love Atlanta.
Oh, FX been kicking ass ever since they started doing Wilford and Me and a few other shows that I remember. Like they've kind of become that alternative channel for like great shows that are kind of out there, or a little more absurd, or a little bit more crazy or eccentric.
Yeah, no, exactly. But here's the thing: you guys probably see it on the top right corner, but the lights are starting to come on. Now I have to play this ahead of time because it always freezes up, and then Jet goes cringe at the end of the thing, which she'll still do. Fuck you, Jet. But no, we're gonna be leaving. Look, it fucked up. See that, Ganja? I wasn't wrong, man. It's fucking
Well,
up.
before we head out, you want to make that announcement, Nikki D?
Yes, we
Oh,
will
shit.
make that announcement. So, I guess I'll put it on my screen over here. Hello, my name is Nokias. The whole thing. No, you guys are probably noticing that there's not a lot of screaming, not a lot of SpongeBob T-shirts right now. There's not a lot of Anthony Wilson Jr. on the show, and unfortunately, that's the way it's going to be for like forever. The reason why, you guys know that Anthony was a huge like video game enthusiast, trying to make video games all the time. What's that fucking program you use?
Unity. He uses a lot of
Unity.
stuff like that.
Yeah, all that stuff. But no, so he, felt like the MCA was kind of like dipping into that time of making the video games and achieving his dreams, because that's always been his dreams, is to do the video game thing. And we were kind of holding off on telling you guys because it was kind of like, yeah, I mean, do you guys even really care? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Maybe he'll come back, but I mean, it's pretty much official. I think he's already starting to work on these things.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah, so hey man, maybe you'll see Anthony on your fucking like G4 icons, some shit. I don't know what the fuck, but he's
You
achieving
get a
it.
chance to downvote his indie game.
Yeah, give him bad reviews on Steam. But no, Anthony's pushing it, man. He's achieving his dreams. You know, lots of us kind of wish that we could achieve our dreams, and we kind of don't, or we do it to a certain extent. But Anthony's going full fucking force, heading towards that direction. So bravo to Anthony, man. And I mean,
That's badass.
yeah, and this whole MCA thing is his shit. Like, you know, everyone probably
Yeah.
says like, oh, like it's everyone's thing. Like, no, like I remember when we started that shit. It was Anthony
Yeah.
in the call or in the chat by himself. And he was literally talking shit in the chat too. He was like, "Oh man, I'm over here by myself all fucking night." And I messaged him. I was like, "Dude, keep going." And then I couldn't join him for the next week. I told him like, "Hey, dude, I'll be on the show with you." I wasn't there. Something happened in my life that I don't want to talk about. But I was gone. And then Ganja, Trey, fucking a few other people. Diz, I think, was there too. JP was one of the first people that did it, and like all of you guys hung out with Anthony, and it became a big thing, you know, and it turned into a show, and it turned into a bigger live stream thing. We deleted our Midnight Chat Tech YouTube channel on accident. Had to build that shit.
Did that happen?
Yeah, Anthony accidentally clicked the wrong button, deleted the whole fucking channel.
We blew up some microwaves.
Yeah, he blew the microwaves, you know, talked about fucking Neckos. It's crazy.
Yeah. Great time.
Yeah, so it's just, yeah, I mean, I just want to say, like, thank you, Anthony. I know you're not watching this. You're over there making a fucking video game. Why are you watching this shit? But thank you very much. And, yeah, it's just he won't be here anymore. But we're here, okay? Me, Allie, Alan, Ganja, we all here. And
You know what? How about we end the show properly by giving a thank you to Anthony as he heads out to start his new life?
Should we do it 3, 2, 1, thank you?
Exactly. Ready?
Okay.
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Thank you!
Oh my gosh, what's happening?
I hope to see Alan Graves wearing your games one day.